Everyone, and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and you're very welcome to episode number 6 of The Hope Show. Collections are built on hope. Today, it's all about anticipation. It's all about those particular pre-orders that you may or may not have locked in, but these are figures that are up for pre-order that you are hyped about, that you're excited about, that you're anticipating, waiting for them to drop, and you're wondering, basically, how the hell am I going to pay for all this? So I can't do this on my own. So today I've got two very special guests who have sent me on a list of basically pre-orders that they are anticipating. So I'm going to bring these lads in. So we have Alan, the 6 Scale Gallery, and we have another photographer, Dan in Carbonate. How are you guys?
Hello.
Hey, buddy.
How are you?
Good. Sorry, that was really like high. Yeah, good, man.
Yeah, very well, mate.
They need a bit of warming up.
I've warmed up enough today, mate.
Oh, yeah. Let's have a look again, Al. Let's have a look.
Ooh.
Ow.
Man, you got a bit of a scalding. I didn't see the arms properly.
Yeah, I didn't realise it was that bad, actually.
Yeah.
Pretty bad.
The weather is as good over there as it is over in Ireland, so...
Yeah, man. Good.
It's brilliant.
Really nice.
Yeah, get the
wear sunscreen, kids. Wear sunscreen.
It's such a thing, though. It's I lived in Abu Dhabi for 2 years, so it was like, because it's so hot over there, you're going to the pool or the beach, you're putting all that spray on stuff. I find the spray on stuff really, really good, like, cause it's you got to rub that slime on yourself, just spray, but you'd always top it up. The day I came home, I was sitting in the girlfriend's back garden, it was sunny, and I got sunburned. Mad. 2 years, didn't get sunburned in Abu Dhabi, get home, and then bang. Just because you just don't expect it to happen, really, when you're in Ireland or whatever. But yeah, look, the two boys here, Alan and Dan, they've kindly joined me here. Very much appreciate you joining in. And the topic is anticipation, hype, the different pre-orders that you are looking forward to. You may or may not have locked them in already. Some of them you have, some of them you haven't. But that's what we're going to be discussing today. So I think because these are pre-orders that we're hyped about, I definitely have to give the warning there. So this live stream contains copious amounts of enabling FOMO and hype. Watching this may result in pre-ordering, loss of funds, and or spouse. So a lot of streamers you see about like enabling and all that kind of stuff. I take zero responsibility for any other people's decisions. We're not going to like quell our hype. If we're excited about something, we're going to let that out, and you can make your own decisions. Speaking of ye, let's address the chat before we get started. Who do we have? We have the one and only Nate Diaz in the house. Paid mine in full. When it first came for pre-order, cannot wait. You must be talking about the Vader in the thumbnail. Safe to say we're going to talk about that one. We got Danny Boy from LA. We got Michael, 12-inch Moose Stream, strong support of the channel and Commander channel member. Thanks very much for bringing it. I do appreciate that, Michael. The 12-inch Moose Stream, 1989 Jazz Inc. Batwing owner. The jealousy is real. Mark Mitchell, channel member. Ian, the Silver Fox. We've got Keith, channel member from Ireland, the 6 Scale Padawan. Of course, we have channel member right here. Alan, the photographer and panel member, collector. You have a lot of aliases. Calvin, the low-key collector. Had the pleasure of meeting Calvin at Star Wars Celebration back in May. X-Man Supreme, channel member. And just he's gone down the old vehicles rabbit hole. This man's in trouble, man. This man's in trouble, in the best type of trouble. Joker J, another nice t-shirt. Thank you. 6 Scale Scavengers, basically. I think all my t-shirts are 6 Scale Scavengers. I have like 4 of them. Ryan Smith, channel member, thanks very much for being here. Before we get stuck into that, I'm going to give you a little outline. I don't want to keep you hostage. I want to kind of outline basically what we're going to be talking about today. Right, what do we got? Okay, so shout out to new members really quickly. The troopers: Stephen Rinks, Mike L, paid in 23, Mugwump, Andre, Chuli, Bendu Windu, Collector Joey, Ryan Smith, and the commanders tier. We got Alan, who's here with us on the panel, the 6 Scale Gallery. If you haven't followed Alan on Instagram and subscribed to him already, make sure you follow the 6 Scale Gallery on Instagram and on YouTube. We got X-Man Supreme, who's in the building. We got 12-inch Moose Stream, who's in the building. Philip the Fool, Keith, the 6th scale Padawan, who's also here watching today. Thank you very much, Mark Mitchell, William Mums, Brandon Salad, Phil, Empire Strikes again. We got Collecting Weekly, they're kind of a big deal. People know them, they're going live later on. Bubba Fettuccini, the tastiest username in the 1/6 scale community. New videos. My thoughts on this. Oh, actually not. That's 1 second. This one isn't a review or a release reaction or a pre-order preview. These are just like 9 or 10 tips that I do to maintain a clean display, and I'm not be talking about sponges and Windex and stuff, just in terms of how you display to showcase your figures. It works for me. It's not for everyone. We've already got some salty comments on this one, which I will address later on, but it's up there. You may get some value out of it, and you may be offended that I use one figure per shelf and feel under pressure to do so, but why not just do whatever you want to do with your collection? The Blue Bat, thoughts on that there. The Rooted Wonder Woman. New streams on the channel. We have the Hope Show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're now watching 6. We have a Bargain Bin Bros with Big Breda, Loki Collector, and Marco16 Fix. An episode of Visions with Lancelot's Nerd Corner, and I really enjoyed this as well. I enjoyed both of them. This one was particularly big, and we will be discussing this again and referring back to myself and Alan have been inspired by Dean Knight, I think. Upcoming streams, my updated wish list, this will be going live at some point during the week. I don't have an actual scheduled time yet, apologies, but just stay tuned to the just hit the bell notification and subscribe, and you'll get a notification. Okay, this is what we're doing. It's the lesson plan, folks. We're going to briefly touch on the Warner Brother 100 Batman. We're not going to spend all day in it. Really quickly, it'll be like yes or no, 30-second opinions on it. We're going to address some rumors that I've heard. We are going to briefly touch on the Warner Brothers 100 Wonder Woman, which is also announced today. We're going to take a look at some comments in the passing comment section, but the main focus of this pun, very much intended, is hype. Our most anticipated pre-orders. There is going to be hype in this. We're not going to curtail our excitement. You've got to make your own decisions, folks. I like to give the audience the credit that they are intelligent enough to make their own decisions and own their own mistakes. Okay, news. Who wants to take this one first? You want to talk about this Blue Bat? I've been talking enough. One of you
I'll
jump
talk
in
about
there.
it.
Okay.
Go on, man.
Alright, where are photos for you? Let me get the photos for you.
I'd rather not see it, to be honest.
I think I was saying to my friend earlier, to be honest, I think this is one of those figure releases that I've not seen hardly any good comments. It's crazy. They've got so many on the Hot Toys thing, and it once it hit, I was actually doing some work. So, sometimes you just go into Facebook and it was came on within like a minute. I was going, I went, what is that? I mean, I think I just don't know what to say because it just doesn't work. In my opinion, this is, some people might like it, but I think if they'd gone down like the Batfleck route, perhaps the BVS Batman with this, I think that would have sold completely, gone mad. I think this is wrong. I don't think it works very well. It depends how many they'll do, as in numbers wise, how many they actually produce, because it's an exclusive. Does anyone know how you can get these yet?
No, I know the Wonder Woman's is pretty limited, so I don't know if Sideshow are going to do that lottery thing that they tend to do.
So that's going to be a $500 figure, isn't it? Easy.
But this one, I'm not sure about this one.
The Wonder Woman, it says in the little blurb that it's limited to 1,500 pieces. I think that's worldwide. I think if you remember, the D100 Iron Man was limited to something similar, and Sideshow got 300. Now I know that that's Disney and this is Warner Brothers, but there is a common thread. Even though the Iron Man, the D100 Iron Man, the Mark 7 with the silver and red color palette, the same as the Mark 5, that never appeared on screen. Neither did this Bat. What about that Wonder Woman? I don't think it did.
I'm not sure. I'm
not sure.
I don't think it did. I think it's a variation, which would suggest that these aren't screen accurate on purpose as kind of unique collector pieces. So I think there's a theme going through some of these 100 anniversaries, even though the Iron Man was Disney.
I feel like, obviously, we'll get to the Wonder Woman, but I feel like that would slot into a collection better than this
Agreed.
thing would.
Agreed.
I saw this image on when I was like looking through the images on Facebook, and I thought, oh, the bats thing is quite cool. I quite enjoy that. But then obviously you can rotate it around that kind of middle pole, so it all kind of can flap around or whatever on little arms. And
So
that,
this is the second time we've seen articulated flaps basically in 1 week.
I'll just leave that one there. And it just immediately put me off. I just thought, oh, actually, like I'm not a big fan. Also, like I associate the bats more with Batman Begins. Like they kind of moved away from the bat element, as you went down. I know this is not supposed to be a Dark Knight version, but it is the Dark Knight suit. So I feel like the bat thing would have been better with the Batman Begins suit personally. But this just looks really bad. I think it just doesn't work, as Dan said. Like if you're gonna go with like a more comic accurate thing, then use like a fabric suit, like Batfleck suit. Do you know what I mean? That would with the cowl could just be one piece and it's like blue, like leading into the cape.
Like they did that Joker. Do you remember they did that limited edition Joker Batfleck?
Yeah,
it was a bit weird, like that worked, and that would have worked for this. Or even trying to do a Keaton, which I don't know, but
it's a monstrosity,
awful,
and
it's dreadful.
I
wonder if they'll actually sell a lot.
Do you know the BBS
I don't think
Batman?
so.
The BBS Batman with the fabric suit, and he was he was a beast.
People have been
the years.
screaming for
That,
a
the blue
reissue.
cowl.
Yeah, and I'm sure I've seen people recolor the suit on, Photoshop the suit.
They've made it grey. I've seen a lot of people paint it grey.
This just doesn't work on every single level. And as Dan was saying before, like looking through the comments on Facebook, I just fancied a bit of entertainment, so I did it myself earlier, and no one had a kind word to say about it whatsoever, and not in a shitty way, but in a kind of like, this is a mistake. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they wasted resources on this. Yeah. Personally.
Great.
They probably feel like they've capitalized on resources because it is the DX19, because it still has the issue with the hands and the gauntlets.
Yeah.
They don't slip underneath the gauntlets like it was advertised with the armory. I look, that's still, as big as a Batman fan I am, and as big as a Dark Knight fan I am, I may not still run out and get that armory, and that's screen accurate, so I'm definitely not going to be picking up this one. The bats. Now, I'm not a zoologist, but they look more like the Morbius vampire kind of crazy, like horror type bats, as opposed to actual bats.
Yeah.
Is that a stretch? The bats,
a bit exaggerated, aren't they? I think.
Yeah, they're more stylistic. I think maybe. I suppose
this looks to me though. But this looks to me, Shane, is that it's just been chucked together. Do you know what I mean? Let's just, we've got the molds. Let's just, it's a cash grab, isn't it? I know they're doing 100 years, and they're a business, but I think this is definitely the wrong choice, the wrong Batman to do this color scheme on, and all that. So it'd be interesting to see how many they sell, because wasn't this the same exclusive sort of thing with the strike suit Captain America as well? Was that the same thing?
I think so, but I'm pretty sure they said that was. I think was that a Shanghai exclusive or no? I think it was.
Oh, was it? Okay.
5.
Right. Or was it a D24 or whatever it's called? Wasn't it, or something?
Oh no, there was
D23 or.
It was a new store, was it? Like a new store opening? Is that
was it a new store?
That one was?
So this
I think the Mark 5 was a Shanghai exclusive.
Then, will it?
Do you know the Mark 5? Like they reissued the Mark 5, and then they did it with the City Racing base. I think that was a Shanghai exclusive, and then the strike suit, and there was something else which was a different type of exclusive.
Mark 46 was it? Or?
Mark 46, yeah.
Is that what it was?
But Sideshow still got them.
Yeah.
The limited amounts, and that was the whole issue with the ordering. Whereas now they did a lottery with email for the D100 Iron Man, and that worked a lot better. Closing thoughts on it, folks? I presume no one on the panel is getting it, but Alan?
No. Well, as I pointed out to you earlier today, I think that they've seen, OT Customs, Dan?
Yeah.
He did a he did a repaint of the DX19 last November for charity. Like he sold it, raffled it off for charity in this exact color scheme.
Oh wow!
And
really?
so I sent that to Shane today, and I was like, shit. Like when I first saw this, I was like, OT Customs did this last year. So I don't know if they're copying someone else's homework a little bit, and So that's what struck me when I first saw it. I was like, I've seen this before, and no offense to OT Customs, I fucking hated it then as well. I was like, that's disgusting. No offense to him, but I just don't think that color scheme. I think it works as a kind of like a bit of I'll raffle this really unique piece off because he customized it and did the whole.
If you were a completist, then you'd have to get this, I suppose. But for people that are like, I love the Dark Knight trilogy, and I've got the DX19, and I've got the back of the Joker, the in-art Joker, but I definitely wouldn't be getting this.
Yeah, I do quite like the base though. I don't know if you've seen it's like a kind of like a metal grate kind of base. I think they've used it from a previous release. I can't remember which one, but it's like kind of like a steel grate type thing. That's quite nice. So the base is nice, but everything else
can't really see it there. See if we can get another photo of it.
I don't know if they used it for Bane at one point.
There you go.
See that little kind of like stair, like a little step onto
simple.
an iron grate. Yeah, I quite like that.
A little bit like that, doesn't it? Yeah, that's quite nice.
Yeah, I think like this is my favorite Batsuit, but it wasn't blue in the movie, so why should it be blue here? I get that they're trying to do an artistic style, but let's face it, wasn't last week when they released Fake Fleck on the bike, wasn't that the time to do a proper blue cowl and a proper blue cape, and give your nod to the comic books maybe, or even release the one that's in the army, which they still may do, but like this is almost like a troll. Like this is my favorite Batsuit, but obviously the screen accurate version. I just love the separated panels on this and the separate cowl and everything about it, but it wasn't blue in the movie, so therefore screen accuracy is my thing. My collection is rooted in my love of movies and films and TV shows. So this is an easy pass for me, and I presume it's an easy pass for the two of you, yeah?
No,
yeah, definitely.
100%.
Right, so I'm going to move on to what was the next thing on the agenda? Agenda always sounds like such a sinister
so
word.
Formal.
Yeah. So
you're a teacher after all, to be fair.
Yeah, not for the next 3 months I'm not. So rumors. Okay. So rumors. Rumor has it that, again, this is just a rumor, but rumor has it that this guy is about to drop. Once I get this sorted. And this guy happens to be one of my most anticipated pre-orders. Now, number one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got this. You contacted me, Dan, during last week.
I was right, wasn't I?
You were 100% right. And two other people contacted me within the 48-hour period, and then it dropped. So I was like, okay, it's a bit of smoke, there's fire. Now, I don't have any sources. I could probably reach out to Lion Rock and go, here, what's the story? Is there any movement there with XYZ? I typically don't do that. So I don't have any sources, but this person reached out to me and said, look, yeah, this is movement's happening over there, so take it with a pinch of salt, but I am interested in this one. I have locked in the pre-order. I wasn't going to because of the head sculpt, because JC Hong himself said they're going to improve this. I wanted to lock it in. I hope they fix the head sculpt, but yeah. Alan?
I did see it a couple of days ago. I don't know if you know Toys on Fire. I think they're kind of UK seller with links to Hong Kong. They did post a couple of days ago that there was a big release coming this week. They didn't say what it was, but they put like a little bomb emoji. So I was like, are they trying to hint at something with the bomb, or are they just saying it's like a big like explosive release coming? So I think that fits the bill, to be fair, because I'd love to see this. I haven't PO'd it, but I'd love to see it.
This is one of my my list for today. I just put it into the news, or the rumor section, so at least we can touch on it. The No Way Home is my favorite Spider-Man movie, and I went and I saw Across the Spider-Verse at the weekend, and I think that's a close second. Like it might. I have to see it again to decide which one I like better. But I really loved No Way Home, so I think No Way Home I'd still give that the edge because I'm more of a live action. But this here, JC Hong on the first day said, "Look, this is not the final head sculpt." So I'm hopefully he's kept his word on that and they've tweaked it and made it look a bit more like him. But it's take the head sculpt aside. The tailoring on this is beautiful. Yeah. The arms are beautiful. I actually went for the deluxe for the different swap out parts. I actually loved how he basically used Bluetooth to defeat him. I know that's a bit... I know that's a bit like people had their issues with that. But if you look at it, he came from one universe 20 years ago, so he wouldn't have Bluetooth. Exactly. The synchronous...
At the start tech. Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, it was Bluetooth on steroids, but... I think this is I'm very impressed with this, like, and I hope the head sculpt turns out and the tailoring turns out as good as this and everything. This is one I consider. I was looking around this kind of, you know, it'd be cool. Like, I think I've seen someone do it before. If you buy some of those dynamic poles, and you get them with a little screw in it, and just plant it into the wall. So if you imagine it, you just have a screw anchored into the wall, and you have then just the dynamic pole where you can flex with the crotch grabber kind of coming out of the wall. Do you get me? So you could have him like attached onto wherever you want on the wall. Do you get me? Is that making any sense?
With the kind of with the arms like looking like they were attached to the
like
wall type thing.
Like, yeah, like as in he could look like he was. I'm not explaining this very well at all.
No, I know.
Instead of just using a dynamic flight pole or a dynamic flight, do you know the flexible ones? Yeah.
Yeah.
Just actually get rid of the stand. Just get the flexible with the crotch grabber.
I mean, this pose now that's on screen is awesome. That is, I mean, obviously, a lot of people haven't got the room. If you had one of those big module cases, the DF ones, you know, that were statues, you know, the ones that would look, or the, you know, the bigger one, the 1/6, that would look amazing in pose like that. But I think this is a great figure. I think this will be I think this will be a sellout. I think this will be one that will go waitlist, and I really do.
Yeah, it looks
if
awesome.
They fix the head sculpt and the rest of it as good as the proto. I think this is going to be a good one. I'm really, really looking forward to this one. Are any of you consider picking this up?
I'd love to, but I've just I've bought too much the last couple of weeks.
That's fair. That happens.
So if it comes out this week, it's not happening.
Yeah, no, that's fair. You gotta.
I'm not Marvel, so I'm trying to stay away. I'm going through I spoke to you, Shane, already. I'm going through quite a transitional thing with some of my collection at the moment. So I'm not going to go down that Marvel route at the moment. I think I'm going to wait for me. I'm going to wait until they release all the Guardians. If they release all the new Guardians, and I'll start with that and then work backwards with Endgame. But at the moment, I'm staying away from Marvel. But this looks really good, really good.
Yeah, I'm particularly happy with it, and I'm glad they did the hobo as well. So that'd be one of mine anyway. So we've gone into a bit of the news, bit of the rumors. Now we've got to move on to another bit of news. We're going to touch on this briefly. I'm going to go first on this one. I have zero interest in this. Again, the only movies I've seen her in was DCU, and I just wasn't a fan of those movies, to be quite honest. I do think it's great that they're doing the rooted hair. I'm hoping it's not just like, you know, a lump of hair and they just stick it on. I don't think it'll be quite rooted like, you know, Customs or whatever, In Art Joker or something, but the prototype does look very well. I know this is very similar to Wonder Woman 1984. I thought the outfit on Wonder Woman 1984 was stunning. I thought the body proportions are good. I'm glad he went for a seamless body. The neck here, it looks like the same body because the neck is actually quite long. Alan actually pointed it out to me about the 1984 Wonder Woman. Now I can't unsee it. I do think the hair sits very well here, and if it turns out like this, a lot of people are going to be happy. And whereas the blue DX19 clearly wasn't from any movie, and the D100 Marvel Iron Man, the Mark 7 with the Mark 5 paint job clearly wasn't on screen. This one here, I think you could probably get away with it. I don't think it's necessarily linked to any particular Wonder Woman scene from any particular DCU movie, but I do think this looks pretty good. It's just not for me. Alan, I know you're interested in this one. What do you think?
I like it. I really like it. As you said about it's very similar
That
to
shot
the
right there. Sorry,
Yeah.
that shot right there.
It's great.
With the sword
it's really
in the back.
Great.
That's pretty damn cool.
It's basically, I think it's like the 84 version, but they've kind of made the colour of the armour a bit more muted and kind of like dirtied it up a little bit more. And I think people's major complaint with the 84 version was it didn't come with the sword and shield or the strap, which this one does. So I think I could potentially pick this up and pop it in my Justice League display, because the outfit looks very similar. I think the Justice League versions, I'm looking at it now, it's maybe like a little bit more muted again, but this would be a perfect replacement for it, because the head sculpt on that one and the hair is just not good, I don't think. Whereas this one looks really decent. I quite like it. But if it's limited, then I'm not gonna chase the thing.
Yeah, you're not gonna
Do you know
chase
what I mean?
it. You're not gonna play their game. Dan, what about you?
You know what? I might get this. I think, like I said to you before, I'm starting to expand a little bit from Star Wars, because obviously I was predominantly Star Wars thing with a couple of odd things, but I really like this. I did look at the 84 before, but I really like what they've done with the hair. I think this is. I was saying to you before, Shane. This is, I think, their way of saying that they can do hair like in art.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean. This looks better than any other female hair that I've seen before. Did I read that it's wool?
Yeah, I was just
time?
about to say they actually made a point of saying what material they're actually using for the hair on this one.
I think in art has definitely upped the game, and they're seeing stuff like this, because if it comes like this, if it comes like well, someone's just said it there about their wait for in art, because in the chat, because obviously in art have said that they are going to do it. Yeah. Now, it really, I'm really interested in this Wonder Woman. One, as Al said, is depending on how easy it is to get. Now, I don't mind doing the odd figure through Sideshow. You might have to pay a few of the import tax, but I'm not paying 500 quid for it. Because it's exclusive and you get it from a third party. But it'll be interesting to see if it comes out like this. I think it's the best Wonder Woman. If you know what I mean. I think it looks great. The base is great as well. I mean, I wouldn't use the base like that, it's too big, but I think it's good. I think it's so different to what they did with the Batman. Yeah. All I wish they'd done is a Superman. I was expecting the Superman to come with this. Either Cavill or even, I mean, they could have surprised us and done a Christopher Reeve, which would have been amazing. But they didn't. So, because obviously they released this one first, then they did the Batman. And I was thinking, well, there's got to be Superman next. And then it was all those little
cos babies
things. Yeah. Like every 20 minutes was another cos baby. And I was thinking, well, they're surely going to wait for, do a Superman next.
A lot of those cos babies, though, usually are precursors to actual Hot Toys figures. So they went nuts with the armory there. There's a few funny looking cos babies of the 1966 Batman and Robin with strange teeth.
Yeah, man.
I didn't see
What's
that.
that about?
They do sell, though, apparently, in Hong Kong, don't they?
But did you see the ones with the strange teeth?
Yeah, they're like smiling, like little rabbits or something, weren't they? Or something.
Yeah, so like...
I don't know. Yeah.
Maybe they will actually... I think... No, I'm not going to say that. Like, I haven't heard any spoilers, but I have theories. So, and usually you see a cos baby, sometimes it's a precursor to what's actually...
I mean,
Shane, they might do that armor in the end.
Yeah, but Shane, what you were saying here, we were saying about in-art. I mean, it's quite interesting that they brought this out knowing that in-art are bringing one out. Because, watching all the interviews on other people's things that, the guy from in-art saying it's on the list. But again, how long is this going to be? I mean, does anyone know how long this is? Is this ready to go, by the way?
I was wondering that myself.
Yeah. I don't know.
Oh, it is ready to go.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Because the Mark 46 last year and the Stealth Cap were more or less ready to go. And what about the D100 Iron Man? I don't think, was that ready to go? I know that they
I don't think it was.
I don't think it was, to be honest.
No.
I know that people were happy enough that Sideshow did a lottery as opposed to go on to Sideshow and the site crashing. And you either got it or you didn't. You didn't have to deal with the internet crashing because you were sent an email if you're selected. But yeah, look, I do actually think they've nailed the body in this, apart from the long neck. Hopefully the hair turns out as good as that. I like the accessories. I think this is like, if you're just looking for a Wonder Woman, it could be pretty damn good. I still don't
This
think
is the
they
one, I
nailed
think.
the
Did you get all
Galileo
the
likeness.
Yeah,
You
good.
can see it at certain
That's
angles.
great.
I don't think they've nailed it though. Do you think this is like a 10 or a 9? I wouldn't give it a 10 or a 9.
I'd say 8.5.
Yeah, I'd say about an 8.
Yeah, certain angles I see it, and in certain angles I don't. I think it's good. I think
I think it'll be. I'll definitely think, because my mate's got the 84, and he said in hand, when you get it in hand, it makes, it pops more. And this, I can imagine in hand will look great. So
do you have it, Alan? I think you have the 84, do you?
No, I did pre-owe it, and I was paying it off, and I cancelled it on Sideshow to get I can't remember what Cyborg, I think. I think I cancelled the Sideshow order of that to pay for Cyborg from, I think, Pop Collectibles or something, and got my payments back. Because it was one of those where I was like, I'd rather have something brand new than get something to replace, the Justice League Wonder Woman, because that was my plan. I was going to use the 84 as my, instead of the Justice League, because the body's better. They're using that what's it called, the silicon body and things like that.
Gotcha.
And I think the likeness is a lot better than the Justice League version. I think it's funny because I was in there's a shop in Liverpool called Worlds Apart. It's like a comic book shop, and you sell the odd hot toy. And I was in there with my wife a few weeks ago, and I was like, "Oh, did they add the Justice League Wonder Woman?" I said, "Oh, I've got that one." She said, "That looks shit," because like the face, the head sculpt, she's like, "That does not look like Wonder Woman at all." I said, "Oh, I've got that one."
She's a keeper.
I know. But
she didn't say how much it was, and you were like, "Oh no, it wasn't that. I didn't pay that."
Yeah, no, I didn't pay that. But yeah, she was like, "Oh, that looks really bad," and I was like, "Yeah, I've got that one. I've got that one."
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh,
they haven't aged very well. I don't think those
No.
the rooted hair ones."
no."
Yeah. Just massive shout out to the 42 people who are watching now. If you like the content, go ahead and hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to 16 Figure Focus on YouTube and follow at 16 Figure Focus on Instagram. You also might consider becoming a channel member. There's a link pinned in the live chat there. Also, if you could please, if you haven't done so already, follow at the 6 Scale Gallery on YouTube and at the 6 Scale Gallery on Instagram. The details are there. I'll put them up at different points during the show as well. And of course, subscribe to Dan in Carbonate on YouTube and follow at Dan in Carbonate on Instagram. Right, so I'm going to go into another little section before we go on to the main topic here. This is something I do for fun. Yeah, so I'm going to just... every week I pick out 3 comments. They could be salty comments. They could be very, very positive comments. They could be a mix of both, right? So we'll take a look at some of these comments here. Might do a bit of a chat on these. So El Capo Ninja. I was going to blur out people's names, but then I figured it's a public channel. They wrote the comic publicly, so no, I'm not going to do that. Why not? So El Capo Ninja said, "My buddy has already seen The Flash, and I can confirm there's no fake Ben Affleck Batman. That would make no sense because, I thought one of the theories, maybe there's something in the multiverse and it wasn't supposed to be. It's not Keaton and it's not Batfleck, but this guy confirmed, and I've heard this multiple times from people who have actually seen it, who they're saying, no, that thing we got during the week with the bike, that is actually supposed to be Ben Affleck, but for some reason the sculpt doesn't look like Ben Affleck. And I've seen all the theories or whatever, but do you want to throw in your 2 cents on that? We won't spend too much time talking about it, but
I mean, I think if you think back, all the set photos came out of the stuntman like flying around on the bike while they were filming. So I don't know if they've got the stuntman, like images of that, and they've just gone from that. That's an out there theory, but it doesn't look like Affleck at all.
Yeah, gotcha.
I think there's got to be something to this.
Yeah.
There's got to be a story behind it because, I mean, how many Batflecks have they done already? And, the mouthpieces have been near on perfect on some of them.
Yeah.
10 out of 10, 9 out of 10s. There's got to be something here, either there's something in the film that we don't know, and then that's one theory, or they haven't got the license, which I can't understand.
You know what?
I
thought that was true, but someone mentioned that if you look at the promotional pictures of the armored Batman, not the battle damaged one, but the armored Batman, that the promotional images don't actually look like Ben Affleck. And then sure enough, I looked at Justin's review where he compared the armored Batman from BVS with the battle damaged one, and the battle damage you can see more of the face, and it's clearly Ben Affleck. They've made it look like Ben Affleck with just a small slither of a crack in the face, but the other one doesn't actually look like Ben Affleck.
Well, I've got the Justice League one, and that's got Ben Affleck head sculpt. So it's weird, man.
It is weird.
It's
I
not
think we
like
just got to wait for the film. Let's just wait till. Is it June the 15th? Is it next week?
Yeah.
Let's just
And
wait.
there's nothing
till then.
stopping them doing an update and go, here the updated head sculpt, here it looks
Yeah,
exactly like them when they
100%.
get their license. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
The funny
it's
thing
not-
is then, this is like, I think it's the same video. Whoever that Batman is on the bike, stuntman or not, it's a new Batman figure, and that figure bike set has my name in it. And I like that because they're two different comments really, aren't they? So this person does not care what it looks like. For him, it's Batman, end of story. He likes the bike, he likes the suit, he likes even though it's the cowl, I think the cowl and cape should be bluer, to be honest, but this guy, Chef DJ, just said, no, it's for me, and I respect that. It's just like, it's Batman,
I think
it's not an actor.
they used all the blue paint on the new DX-19.
They did that as a very valid point.
I mean, I
That's
like
where
the
all blue
bike.
paint
The
went.
bike looks amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
the
the bike
problem
looks
is
sick.
It's a weapon.
it's just too big. I couldn't put it. It would just take up half a bloody. How is it? 18 inches? Is it 19 inches? Is it the same
think it's
size
22.
DeLorean?
I think it's 22 or something. It's crazy.
Wow.
Big.
So it's
Well,
it's
mine's
a big
25.
Yeah. Well, it's no need
If
no
we
need
compare
for that, guys.
massive
So this
though,
one's a
isn't
bit
it?
longer. I'm going to have to take I'm going to take all of us away here for this one. So this was based on the half an hour tips for clean display that I put up yesterday, which I did preface with, look, this isn't for everyone, it's not going to work for everyone, this is just what I do because it makes me happy, it's my collection, I'm looking at 99% of the time. So Immortal Drelo for number 6, because that was point number 6, 1 to 2 figures per shelf. It would be nice to display 1 figure per shelf, but for 90% of collectors that is impossible. I kind of find a lot of people look down on people who have a lot of figures displayed together and like to call it cluttered or dirty or excessive. I have posted some of my collection and constantly get the, how do you clean the dust? Geez, like really, you clean it like everyone else does. Dust is a part of life, and every single household, collector or not, you have to clean it, it's inevitable. It's almost like veiled jabs at people who collect and don't adopt the minimalist approach for everything. I just don't even get how you can have a minimal approach to collecting. The whole idea for the name is collecting, so you're accumulating things you like. LOL. I get you say that you're curating instead, but just as an example, how do you display the Power Rangers? I was too old for the Power Rangers. I have the 3-0 Power Rangers set, and it's impossible to have them all on one shelf. It would be such a huge space hog and kind of kill the cool factor of them having them all displayed together like they're always seen. It isn't just feasible for everyone, and I really dislike how it's constantly forced as some kind of goal for collectors to maintain. Now, I did respond to it very respectfully. I think they make some you know what, I'm not going to skew people's opinions. You tell me what you think of the comment. I mean, have you ever
Shane,
felt
it's your channel, man? So you do you know what I mean? It's like, it's your collection. Everyone is different. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's your channel, and you're highlighting how you collect. I mean, you've got 5 DTOFs, 1 of each, 2 in each. I've got 3 module cases with 17 in each in the first 2. It's just the way it is. I mean, I love looking at other people's collections. I mean, to be honest, I think we all know, I think most of which I've seen as being a YouTuber, is your collection videos are the ones that get the most views.
Yeah.
If you do it right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love looking at other people's collections. I love looking at quick shorts and things like that. You know, even if it, you know, it's funny, even if we've got the same figures. Some people have got near on the same figures as me, but I love watching, you know, yourself or, you know, Jedi. What is it? The Jedi Watch.
Jedi Patrol.
Jedi Night's Watch.
Jedi Night's Watch.
Jedi Patrol. I love watching their stuff. And then you've got Justin who collects, you know,
everything.
Well, it's everything. But you know, for me, too many in there. That's for but that's his collection. And people can comment on it and give their, make their own minds up. And like this thing here. I mean, it's one of those of, well, don't watch it. If you're not putting it down anyone's throat, you're putting it on your channel. You don't have to watch it. There's so much out there to, you know, you put Hot Toys collection in. And I mean, I love even going back to the ones when I first started collecting. There's a lot of them from like 2010, 11, and how it's all come on, and the lights, and you know, it used to be on like just like shelves and, you know, things like that. And now everyone's got obviously like detox module cases and garage shelves and everything like that. And I think it's great. I mean, it's never, everyone needs to be unique. That's what I like about it. Everyone's collection's unique. It's all about you, but you're sharing your collection with everyone being on YouTube. That's what I think.
Yeah. And you know,
what do you think, Alan?
Yeah, there's going to be people who lean more towards like a nice clean display like you've got, and there's going to be people who lean more towards like Justin, like I'm just going to buy, you know, I'm just going to display everything kind of closer together and things like that. So this guy's obviously, I don't like to say triggered because that's a very loaded word, but this guy's obviously, or this guy or girl or whoever has seen your video and said, well, you know, that's not feasible for everyone. But it's not, you know, it's not supposed to be a, you know, like an ideal to, it's just like, you know, if people lean that way, they can see how you've done it and go, oh, okay, or get inspired by your collection and go that way. Do you know what I mean? It's not like do it like this.
This person, they weren't in any way disrespectful or anything.
No.
My comment back.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's just
yeah.
I think Shane, for you, when looking at this now, it's more, you know, I think people just, you know, probably get what they're saying. You know, I've got, how can I do that? But you can't. You don't do it. You know, you don't use stands. People use stands.
When I look at a collection tour and it had, maybe it's a module case or detox or Costa cases or muscle racks or you know, maybe open shelves, whatever, billies, and there's a lot of things stuffed in. While I recognize that's not for me, I don't feel in any way pressure to go out and buy 200 figures and go and feel bullied into you know, getting more. You know that kind of way. Like, so it's I suppose
I think the only time when I do see that is when I go, oh, that looks good. Oh, damn, I haven't got that. That picks it up. You know what I mean? Like you look at, you see, you know, an older figure or something. Go, oh man, you know, oh, I wouldn't mind that. But it, like I say, is, you know, people pose dynamically that take up more room. People, I'm a like museum poser, so quite boring. But that's just me. That's what I like. You know, and that's. We all are in this.
There was another comment actually. It said, "Yeah, well, for people who pose their figures, we need to use stands." And I was like, "Oh, hang on a second now. I put a lot of time into posing my figures. They're just not doing backflips." You know, their character poses is what I prefer. Like I don't want a straight up and down, but I don't need Vader doing a backflip or you know.
No, I mean,
I don't need the inner Joker breakdancing or whatever.
But just quickly on that, you know, even just moving a hand or an arm slightly gives
or
something.
A head, like...
yeah, exactly. That's the whole because the realism of the figures. That's why we collect Hot Toys. Is the realism for me anyway. You know, it's that you know, having something that's near on a perfect representation of the movie you like and all that. So, you know, putting a gun up or a knife or, you know, just head down and just moving slightly, it can look boring, but it gives that sort of
I think
sort of angle.
Even someone like Peter, you know, posing with Peter.
Oh
wow, yeah,
gifted.
I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of his poses aren't like massively dynamic, but they're very
No.
character, character poses. But he just does them very, very, very well.
Can I tell you a story actually really quickly on that point?
Go on.
So I've been harping on about how much I like the DX23 Luke and how I knew I'd like it, but when I got on hand, I was like, man, the posing on this, like the look of it, and it really did hit me. And I suppose it helped that I wired up the CCFL the same day when I put them together. But I just took that out, swapped out the hand, literally put the hand up, reaching out, put the cloak over his head, bang, and I was like, man, that looks really good. It was so natural. Because I got it from Lion Rock and I had to review it, I took it down today, I did my review, I tried to put it back in the same pose, and it's like, it's kind of there, but it's not there. So I know that I'll be tweaking it now for the next few weeks, going, until I get it back exactly, like, but I suppose a disadvantage of reviewing figures, like, it's kind of like when you, I used to sketch a lot when I was a kid, and you sketch, I don't know, Godzilla or whatever, and then you go, right, I'm going to do that again, I'm going to do it bigger or whatever, and then you sketch it again, it's like, oh no, that looks like, I know, not Godzilla. You know what I'm saying? It's like the second try.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes
like
you nail it.
last month. Yeah.
I think I mean I with my posing quickly, I go from there's another guy that I know for years, Mark Jolly, who's a __ photographer, Star Wars one. He does a lot on the floor,
I love it,
and all that. And I've known Mark for a long time, and I have to say when I do a post, like thanks to Mark Jolly for the tips, because he gets some of those Star Wars ones perfect. They
very
look so
subtle,
good.
but like they look real, and like a real person would be stood there.
And that's what I like. That's how I like to pose.
Yeah,
so
same.
Big shout out to Mark, because Mark is one of those that I have to be inspired by, because when you get a figure and you go, well, I'll do a screen grab and go, I'm having that. Do you know what I mean? Sort of thing. But sometimes you make it your own, but other times you do. Obviously, the blogger photos help, but I do find when the figures are out for a little while, you can go through Instagram and the people you follow, and you go, wow,
totally.
that looks amazing.
I just want to address this comment here by Clinton Martin. I think it's a very valid point. So I understand what he's saying. Sometimes the community can be jerks. That's true. But I do think it's like 90% of the community is overwhelmingly positive and welcoming and encouraging and just really nice people, and then maybe even more than 90%, and it's just a small percentage then, probably like in any community, there's always people that they just want to maybe, I don't know, stir the pot or something or whatever. So just like if you don't like someone's collection or the way they collect, then it's not for you and just move on. 100%. I completely get that. Like, commented tonight, Clinton Martin. Ryan Smith, channel member. I have the DX23 Luke and R2 on the way. Shane, you saw me on it. I apologize. Not sorry. I'm only messing, Ryan. Okay, so I think we've addressed the news. We've done through our rumors and our little bits and pieces there from the comments. So we'll take a look. 46 people in the chat. Thanks very much for joining us here. And we're going to take a look. What I've done is I asked my two panelists to just send me a list of 5 pre-orders that they're excited about. They don't necessarily have to have them locked in. They don't have to be Hot Toys. They could be in-art. They could be third-party. They could be some sort of custom piece or kit bash, whatever. 5 things that are available for pre-order, whether they pull the trigger or not, that they're excited about. And they did the same. There was a bit of overlap, so we mashed them all together in a particular order, and we have tabs here from. So we're just going to go through and basically going to claim them. So it's like, right, whose is this one? Maybe one of us had put this one forward. Maybe 2 of us. Maybe we all had the same idea. But I'll bring up the first one. I'll let you do a bit of talking here. So the first one, I think this might have been on all of our lists, but this is the first one. So I know it was it was on my list. But who wants to talk about this first? I know it was on. I think it was on both of your lists, was it?
It's on mine, but to be honest,
definitely on mine.
Do you know what? Right, I haven't pre-ordered this yet, but there's a few places that's still up for pre-order. I'm torn between getting this or the Hot Toys one, and people may say in the chat, and you could help me, whatever. Is there, because I don't really know the suit that well, is there a massive difference between this and the Hot Toys one? Because for me, I just want a representation of this thing. this movie. And the other thing as well is that do I go down the rooted hair route? Yeah, you know what I mean. With the Bruce Wayne or the sculpted hair, which I think still looks great, but there's obviously a $200 difference. But I wanted to know: is there a massive difference between this and the Hot Toys one? Do you guys know? Because I'd rather get in art because I like, I've got the Joker and I like the way it's presented, and I can imagine. Well, I say it's made better, but you don't know. You don't know. They've only made one figure, so
I think that's the exciting thing about this and the Hot Toys version is it's the first time really. Yeah, the Hot Toys and in art are going to go literally head to head with one another at this. Pretty much, I don't know when in art is going to come out. Hopefully soon. Yeah, probably toward the end of the year. I don't know about Hot Toys. When is
the
that
Hot
scheduled
Toys
to
one
come
is
out?
quite
Hot
soon.
Toys is due now.
Is it?
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Okay.
So I mean, what do? Do you buy the Hot Toys one first and then get the in art, or do you wait? But then the in art might be hard to pick up if you haven't pre-ordered it.
That's the thing.
Or more expensive.
Yeah, the price did. I noticed like on 1/6 kit when he had.
Yeah, I'm looking at that one as well, man. It's still there. It's still there. And I'm thinking,
you know what? The price did jump up a little bit.
Yeah,
on the Joker when.
Sorry, man. Go on now.
Sorry, no. I was gonna say when he had like extra stock of the Joker. After the price did creep up a little bit. If you hadn't pre-ordered. Yeah. So. I personally PO'd this one, just based on. I went for the sculpted hair in art version.
That's the thing
personally.
I'm thinking. Yeah, I don't think I like the. I think I'd probably 9 times out of 10 have the cowl on, if you know what I mean. So I don't know if it's worth paying another $200 for the rooted.
I mean, I can't wait to get it and shoot it. Like if it turns out well, I think with. I know, Shane, your rooted Joker turned out pretty well, didn't it? It's pretty spot on. I know some people's was a bit poofier with the Joker, and I think it is just a risk. Like it's never going to be 100% perfect. So I just went sculpted because it was A, it was cheaper, and B, I'm really happy with the sculpted Joker. Personally, I think the hair looks decent for sculpted hair.
I think that the hair's a little bit different for a long-haired figure, isn't it?
Just want to ask. Sorry, just want to. Shiny. Sometimes very hard to tell if Shiny's serious or not. Is my mic clipping? It could be just I was too close.
It's popping a little bit.
It's popping a little bit, mate. It's a bit crunchy,
Right.
Just
okay.
Just a touch.
You talk amongst yourselves, right? And I'm just going to.
Okay.
Plug it out and plug it back in again. Yeah, pretty
the
much.
Old one,
right?
still classic. Al, I've got the rooted Joker. And
have you got the rooted one as well?
Yeah.
Sorry, mate, I didn't realise.
I got that, and then I sold the jail sale this week, actually.
Right.
I sold the second one. I was never going to keep both. I couldn't afford both. And I'm a one figure per character
Keep it clean.
sort of thing. Apart from Batman, because I seem to be buying a lot of Batman, but they are different. Whatever. I'm not going down that route because I'm changing
Batman,
my rules. But I think you're right as well. I think with the Batman, looking at this in art's Batman here, I think getting the rooted Bruce Wayne is a bit of a waste of money for me because I'd never. It still looks pretty good with the rooted hair.
Yeah.
So it's $200 more.
Yeah, I that's what I thought, man. And like you said, you're gonna go cowl mostly, aren't you? You might switch it out here and there. Yeah. But that's an option, isn't it? And to pay for an option as opposed to the Joker who's got his head sculpt on the whole time. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like
the other thing as well with this one, I think this is on 1/6 kit's 380, isn't it? Or it's around
around there, yeah. I think so.
So I mean, that's dollars. So you take that down, that's probably around £300. That's not far off what the Hot Toys one's going to be.
No, not at all. So, and that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I think when I don't know why, but when the Hot Toys one was announced, it didn't impress me. Right. And I was a big fan of the film, and I was like, and then obviously this came out, and I think just their photography and their lighting, and obviously the way they present their prototypes is a lot like, it's a lot more chic looking, with the kind of like just the off-white grey background. It just all looks like.
So do you think this looks better than the Hot Toys version? Because I can't see it.
I did, but I sent Shane a picture actually from I think it was San Diego Comic-Con last year, and at the sideshow booth they had like the the big the 89 back computer and things like that. But the Pattinson Batman was on display there, and it looked incredible. To be fair, I sent Shane a picture of it. And I was like, wow, the announcement pictures didn't blow me away. But seeing that, just like someone's used the DSLR on the shop floor, on the show floor, sorry, and took a picture of the prototype, and it looked fucking awesome. To be fair, like the likeness was great. So that's why I'm very interested. I said to Shane on my little list today, I'm excited for both of them, purely to see the comparisons between the two. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously we've had the Joker, and comparing that to like the DX, what was it, the DX11? Yeah, that's that kind of apples and oranges, isn't it? But this one's literally gonna be apples and apples. And it's like, which company,
like we said, is you can't just go and buy in art.
That's the pickle.
Like you say, if you miss the pre-order, that's the problem we're going to have with in art. You miss the pre-order, you're paying secondary prices, another couple of $100 more. So it's the risk you take with the NRD about doing it. I mean, the more and more I'm looking at this now, and we've talked about it, I'll probably just get the in art.
And don't forget, since these images, they have updated the figure a little bit as well. Yeah. They have posted some updates. Like I think they've lengthened the cape.
And the Bruce Wayne. Actually, I didn't really like the new updates to the Bruce Wayne.
Did you not?
Preferred the old ones.
There was a lot of controversy actually. Because I didn't. I was like, can I see a difference? Because obviously,
I thought the old ones were better, but
I thought so as well. I thought it was a lot sharper and a lot more defined. But I don't know if that's just the angle and the lighting, because it was completely different to these images. So they should have really stuck to the same, as much as they could anyway, the same angles and things.
As you said, I think 9 times out of 10 we'll just be putting the cowl on.
Exactly.
So you've talked me into it now, Al.
Well, I'm gonna get a little kickback from in art.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I think it just looks good. When you say about the differences between the suits, I think they're very similar. This and the Hot Toys version. Shane looks very, very concerned.
Yeah, Shane, are you with us? Are you?
Oh,
right. Okay,
I thought you'd frozen.
Really moody frozen picture.
I don't know. Does that sound any better or worse?
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Does it? A B C D
it's still
E F
clicking.
G H A. No. I don't know why that is actually doing that. I do know I'm getting a bit of my laptop sounds like it's overheating a bit, which is unusual. But it has been on all day, so it's
not that bad, Shane. It's not like really bad. It's just like that now and again, it's not like.
I'm gonna mess with the settings here, if you wouldn't mind. Just give me some feedback. Not the feedback I'm getting here now, but actually, right. I've changed it to automatically adjust mic volume. Is it any different? Is it any different at all?
That's not too bad. I think go closer to it, because sometimes if you go closer to it,
I think maybe I'm just a bit. It could be the angle that I'm at, even like.
I don't think it's
now? Is it? Can you hear me? Like.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
it seems better now.
Is it clipping now at all?
No.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2.
No, clip free. I think.
Okay, I think maybe it could be just I was just sitting a bit too close to it, maybe.
Might be.
So I'm gonna stay here. Yeah. All right. So have we come to any conclusion on this?
I think Dan's already PO'd.
I'm going to pre-order it now. But I think from my point of view, I like the film. I really like the Batman. I need to watch it again, actually, because it's quite long, isn't it? But it just, I've got in my head that I want to try and get as many of the sort of Batmans together as I want, all together. So
yeah,
I'll get the in-art one, I think, and then, down the line, if you want to sell it, it'll probably hold its... As long as you get your money back. I can imagine on these things you'll get your money back anyway. Yeah. So I'll get the in-art. What about you, Shane?
With this one here, please chat, if it is clipping, please let me know. because I just want to know if I have to sort the mic out. Anyway, I have ordered the Batman and Signal, the full deluxe one, the Hot Toys one, which we'll look at next briefly. I was going to flick through some of these photos here. I'm no interest in the all-inclusive pack with the Bruce Wayne and the Signal. I've no interest in the Bruce Wayne. If I was getting any, I would go full rooted here, just a single rooted. I was very impressed with this and what I saw at the Vegas event, as in from footage from the Vegas event. Or I think if it's the same standard as Joker, it'll be another home run. But I haven't ordered this, and I have been in contact with Lion Rock, and there is one there if I want it. I actually think this biscuit base is quite simple and quite nice. So
I love it.
Yeah, I do.
It reminds me of a coaster a little tiny bit, but I'll let it slide because it's Batman.
I can't rule it out, but if I was interested in the one I'm interested in is the single rooted, based on how good this Joker came out, how realistic it was. But Alan's point is very valid. Is it worth, especially knowing that I have this one here on order, is it worth going and paying whatever $500 for a figure that is mostly in a cowl? You know what I mean? The Joker, you can't put a cowl on him. They have to nail that head sculpt. They have to nail those paint apps. They have to nail the rooted hair because that's his face. He doesn't have the luxury of putting on a cowl, like, you know what I mean? So I think if I was to get the in art, though, I would be posing him holding the cowl with the hair to show off the amazing head sculpt.
That's that. I have seen that one when they do that in the rooted picture is where he's holding the cowl like that, and it does look pretty good.
It looks
and this comes back. This comes back to I suppose the individual's comment on my stream. Like maybe some collectors would go, I'm just going to get both. You know what I mean? Whereas I have to be, no, in order to maintain like the display I want and, use displays wisely and still give this figures a bit of space to breathe and maintain maybe 1, 2, 3 for shelf or whatever it is. 3. No, I'm only joking. 3 can work. 3 can work. I've made it work. But my point is that I can't just be willy-nilly going, yeah, I'm just going to get both. Just going to get both. I'm going to get 2. So, yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on the release photos for the single rooted. And I may be hitting Lion Rock up yet. But look, on that note, let's take a look at this one now. It seems like a perfect segue because I think this one was the in art and the Hot Toys were both on Alan's list. I have an interest in the in art but haven't pre-ordered it, but I have bought and paid for this one here, and you haven't pulled the trigger on either yet. Would that be correct, Dan?
I haven't. I'm going to probably go for in art, just because, like with having the Joker, I was impressed with it just looks
fair.
But again, talking with the guys and even in the chat, is that I haven't looked at both suits enough to see which one is the best. But everyone keeps saying the in art's got the better proportions and it looks better and all that. I need to look, but to be honest, I'll probably go for the in art just because. Well, and as we said, is that the rooted, the non-rooted in art is near on the same price as what Hot Toys would be. Around
bear in mind that Hot Toys did come on and they did announce that they updated the head sculpt, they updated the hair for the unmasked sculpt because they made it messier. They also updated the body proportions and they made the bat symbol on the chest diecast. So they're not resting on their laurels. So
no,
it could that's only tightened the competition there.
Yeah,
I think
it does feel like a bit of an arms race, doesn't it? This figure in particular, because really this is the only one that they're going is head to head with, is it? Yeah. Obviously we've got Pennywise coming as well.
The base
looks pretty cool.
This isn't just a sand base or a diamond base
that
or
is nice, man.
A random
I don't use the bases.
This is, yes, and it's modular. Just 2 different ways of displaying it. I think these are supposed to be the steps of the iceberg lounge or something like that. I think they've done something like that. I'm not sure if these. I don't think these are the steps he ran up before he dive bombed off with the wingsuit, the squirrel suit. I think these are more look like something from the iceberg lounge. And then the other side does look like the rooftop diorama. Yeah,
kind of like a lava building type thing.
Yeah.
Represent Liverpool.
Yeah.
This comes with a bunch of accessories as well.
This looks good, man. It does look really good.
It does.
And bear in mind, we're looking at the original the original promotional material, whereas the
For
head
both.
sculpt is better now. The proportions are better. The hair is better. That's
does
more
I
look
like
do have
good,
to
doesn't
say,
it's too-
when
it's too
they
straight.
when they showed the updated sculpt with the messy hair, that was really impressive. The Hot Toys version. As I said, it does feel like they're both, with this particular figure, like going head to head and trying to get people's money. Each company, which obviously we win. Like whichever one we get, I think everyone's going to be happy, and it will be a bit
Our
like
wallets lose.
yeah. People are going to pick sides, and people are going to say, "Oh, this one's better," or "This one's better," as we always do. But I'm interested in both of them. I'm only really going for the in-art version, but I'm really interested in seeing, what.
Well, this will definitely come out first now as well.
Yeah.
The Hot Toys one will come out first.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could always play the NRD and then just cancel or move it around,
Yeah.
I can imagine, or something like that if
Yeah.
needs be. But I think I'm the same with you. I think I'm going to go with the in-art just because of what they did with the Joker. And then again, if you'll probably be able to sell it if you didn't like it anyway, and go with the Hot Toys, because there'll be loads of this. There's going to be loads of different versions of this.
Yeah.
Because there's the Signal on its own. Is the bike? You get the bike as well. So
I think so. Yeah.
I think
I'm
so.
not
There's
going to get it.
the bike looks great, actually.
I think the bike just looks like a black bike with little ears on it. Do you know what I
It
mean?
looks well.
I think the bike just looks like a bike, like a little black motorcycle that you could see anywhere. And it just has little
of course.
ears on it.
Yeah. I know.
Like,
what you
which
mean.
is, I
know what
suppose
you
that's kind of
mean. That's the whole point, though, isn't it?
that's the whole point.
Early
Like it's
days,
supposed to
isn't
be.
it?
Yeah, it's early days. Like and I get that. Like,
I know what you mean.
This could be a Hello Kitty as well. I'm not sure how much bat it is than cat.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah.
You can't unsee that now. So this could be Zoe Kravitz's version. Right, so we'll move on to the next one, and I believe whose list was this on?
Mine.
I gotta go to the bathroom. So Dan, you're up.
This is
I
not
have the
the best
RoboCop I
picture,
want.
though.
You've done them dirty there, Shane.
I did that on purpose.
Not the right version, really. Yeah, can you go? If you
Okay,
go to
wait. I'll
that's
get
it,
that
that's
movie
it, that's
poster
it,
you
that's
want.
it.
There
Wait
we
a
go.
second,
Not that one
wait
there.
a second. I know what you're looking for. Wait a second, yeah.
There. I mean,
You
that.
really put the good ones in the back.
That's
yeah.
it. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, these are great.
Wasn't there one where he was like breaking through the wall?
That was a sick one. It's like
It's
the
not
poster,
here.
wasn't it?
That's weird.
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean,
now
that's RoboCop 2, isn't it? It's not even
Yeah.
RoboCop 3. They're well getting away with the licensing here. It's like Enterbay did it, didn't they? They did the quarter scale RoboCop 3, but it was all Murphy's name faceplates. Similar to this.
Very
not
similar to
Murphy, who's the actor?
Peter Weller.
Peter Weller.
Yeah.
For me, this is again after getting the module cases. I was all Star Wars before, but with the module cases, I'm trying to go down a little bit of Batman, and I'm staying away from Marvel, like I said before. But I want to go for some of the. I'm an 80s kid, late 70s, early 80s. Late 70s, all of 80s. Star Wars and Empire and Indy and
The
Goonies
classics.
and the Karate Kid and Jaws and all that. That's for me. That's my
Predator.
Predator and Ghostbusters and all that. Anyway, but
RoboCop.
The first RoboCop I had, the die-cast one, and then I sold it years and years ago, like 2015, 16. But obviously they haven't redone RoboCop 1, but this RoboCop 3 is, I think there's got to be a licensing way how they're getting away with this, same with Enterbay, because it is Peter Weller's faceplates.
It shouldn't be.
And it shouldn't be. I don't even know who the actor was. I mean, I think I've seen it once, RoboCop 3. It's dreadful.
I've never seen it. I've never seen the thing. I think I've seen bits of it with this little girl in it, isn't she? And she doesn't she hack the Ed 209 at some point?
Oh, mate, I can't even. Do you know what? I can't remember, but it is dreadful. In my opinion, sorry, there might be people out there that like it, but
sorry, guys.
Sorry, guys. But I really like this. I think its die-cast looks good, and I really like the colour because it's similar to RoboCop. Because I think, if I'm right, the colour in the original RoboCop was still quite blue. I think it was more blue in 2, but it still had this sort of sheen to it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think when I think of RoboCop 1, it is more grey silver.
Yeah.
But I think there is a
There is a hint of it, because I know a lot of the
stronger.
people were getting their original RoboCops painted.
Oh, really?
Which I saw. Yeah. So there's a few friends of mine that had it done a couple of times, actually. He sold it and then bought it again.
Oh, God.
But this for me looks great.
Yeah.
You can imagine this on the shelf with pop and any collection.
It's gonna look sick.
Yeah, I'm looking at Ryan's comment there about the jetpack's going to stay in the thing.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it might look good, but I'll probably sell it if I have to, if someone wants to buy it.
The jetpack looks cool, but it was not cool in the movie.
Looks cool. It looks cool, but it won't be going on for me. But I like this. I think this will sell quickly as well, because I don't reckon they would have done a lot of these at all. I think this will be I personally think this will be a that word grail, but it will be a sought after figure in a few years, because I don't think they'll do a lot.
And I think with the amount of people just desperate for a new RoboCop as well,
a new 80s figure,
just something,
something that's not Marvel, DC, Star Wars.
Absolutely, and that's what I'm saying, Shane. When you went to the toilet, it's just I'm getting back into that now. I'm even thinking about picking up Doc and Marty. The new Doc and Marty's, because I'm thinking of. I said to Shane, I've got a collection of troopers, and I'm thinking of selling the troopers to fund, because I can't. It's a lot of money to fund my more. The Docs and Martys and RoboCops and Predator. Just going back to a bit more of my childhood, where the troopers are, statues behind the main cast, because that's what I got them.
I'm thinking of set dressing a little bit.
Well, they are, because I've got things like the Snow Trooper, which is worth quite a lot of money, and the Patrol Trooper and things like that.
People snap them up, definitely.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of doing it, but I'm not too sure, because I've done it before and I've regretted it. When the Star Wars hype comes back and you're like that. But
the thing is, right? The way I see this is, by the way, on RoboCop 3, I wore the VHS out of RoboCop 1 and 2.
I thought you said 3 then.
I watched RoboCop 3 once and never returned to it.
I
recently, because I bought the bundle on Apple TV, I got 1, 2, and 3. They were in a bundle for $10 or something like that. And I watched 1, I watched 2, and I was like, I got to give 3 a try again and see, because I was like, could this be my representation? I had, if you don't like something as a kid, you're not going to like it as an adult 30, 40 years later. It is bad. But that being said, this here looks like RoboCop 1 and 2. I'm Vader blind. Shane,
Entebbe did the quarter one a few years ago and did exactly the same thing. They did the Peter Weller things, and I think it must be a way of getting the license. I don't know how they've done it, because obviously it's RoboCop 3, but obviously they've got away with it.
Yeah, because it's not. It's 100% not Peter Weller in the third movie.
No, but that's Peter Weller there.
Like
Look
Peter
at that.
Weller here.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense. I wonder, are they going to surprise people? No, but I wonder, are they going to surprise people in a bad way and have it the other way?
No, mate, they did exactly the same with Entebbe. Entebbe did exactly the same thing. RoboCop 3, but it was Peter Weller's
good.
Play.
Unless that actor just didn't, I don't know, something to do with the likeness.
Robert Burke, that's who Paul's
Paul.
saying there, yeah. Thanks, Paul.
Cheers, mate.
The other thing that I really wished, one of the other things I wish I'd picked up is that battle damaged Robo. That's probably one of the best head sculpts they've ever done on toys. It's perfect. Oh yeah, and also what you're saying there is that's on my list. Lethal Weapon figures, Riggs and Murtaugh for me would be that, Mad Max, and them, and the Jaws 3. I've always said that. So I know we're going off piece, but the 3 cast from Jaws is my ultimate
dream.
Dream figures. I'm sorry, but every time I see Clarence Boddicker, I just have to say, you see, cops don't like me, and I don't like cops. I just have to. Or the classic, can you fly, Bobby?
No, I like.
Bobby didn't fly so good.
Say
again? Yeah.
Spits on the desk, didn't he? Yeah.
I love the fact that he was such a good villain, because he wasn't a big muscle man. He was
horrible
scrawny,
just a piece of shit.
But he was horrible. Yeah, he was horrible.
Mate, when Murphy gets shot at the beginning, because I was only 10, 11 when I saw it, it's brutal, man. It's still brutal now. It's not a nice film, RoboCop. It isn't, but it's just a classic.
Yeah, it still gives me that kind of like, you do have a lot of empathy for them. You know, does it hurt? Does it hurt? Of course it hurts. Like, you know, the stuff that they do to him, like, it's just, oh god.
Yeah, it's the old, you know, where is it there?
Yeah,
he does that.
Yeah.
Shane, movie. Are you? Because obviously you've got Robo in the chair.
Yeah.
Would you get this? Because obviously it is a different color.
No, and it's not snobbery. When I saw this, I went, okay, this is going to be the backup if I can't find the one I want, because I really wanted the one in the chair.
Right.
I really wanted the one in the original with the chair and the battle damage swap out parts and, you know, the remote and all that kind of stuff. And I searched for it and I was like, I got it for a price I was willing to pay. It wasn't cheap. I worked backwards, but I didn't lose sleep over it. You know what I mean? You get what you pay for. But I knew that, like, this was, if I couldn't track the one down for a price I was willing to pay, I knew I could get this. And like this is a very, very good, especially that is Peter Weller's, if it is Peter Weller's mouthpiece, a great representation for RoboCop. But no, I'm not going to pick it up. And it goes back to that conversation we were having earlier on, because then I'll have two RoboCops, and that's great and all.
No.
But
you can't
you know
do that,
what I mean?
Man. On the same,
like,
it's one character. I'm one character per figure, and I couldn't have two. That's me. Again, this is just me. I can't.
And then, you know, I have three Lukes. I have three Lukes, but I've
Star
been on
Wars,
the way, but they're so different.
Yeah. I know what you're.
Batman's that are drastically different, but I think this is too similar.
Absolutely,
to the RoboCop one, basically, you know. So we're going to move on then, unless there's I've got the MMS 203 DO5, the diecast one in the chair from the 1987 movie. That's why I'm not moving on this. You are all in on this, Dan, and is it a pass for you, Alan?
Yeah. Not that I don't like RoboCop. I love RoboCop. I just, when you told me what we had on the lists and stuff, I forgot that this was coming out completely. So it's not been on my radar. But again, I'm really looking forward to seeing it in people's hands and seeing what people do with it. And, you know, I'm glad that it's coming out, because as I said, people have been after a new RoboCop, or like a you know, a more modern, you know, build.
It gave us hope. It gave us hope for the likes of Terminator, Aliens, Colonial Marines, that kind of thing.
Yeah, mate, we need all that.
Yeah.
So this one here is, I believe, from your list. So you can, just perfect segue. You can just chat away. What? You have this one on order, do you? You're obviously really looking forward to this. Tell us why.
I am. I really love the character. I love the movies. Even the second one, like I don't know if you guys have seen it chapter 1 and chapter 2. The second one gets a lot of kind of, you know, it wasn't as good. I quite like them both as a whole story. And I love the character design of Pennywise, and I love the performance and things like that. So I've got I have got the Hot Toys version.
Jesus,
but I think I cannot wait to shoot this fucking thing.
Are you sure about this?
I cannot wait. Right. So I've got a Diamond Select, I think half scale bust of Pennywise, and I had it on my shelf for a little while. And I think one night I was just like gaming, and I don't know if it was the way the lights were or something, but I just kind of like looked over, and this thing was looking at me, like, and I had to turn the thing around, the bust around. I'll go and get it in a minute and show you guys. But like, I do really enjoy the character, and as I said, I've got the Hot Toys version, and in art of doing the things the Hot Toys didn't do, like with the moving eyeballs and the rooted hair, I think those are the two things that really, and obviously the head's a bit longer on this one, which it should be. They're really kind of doing the things the Hot Toys missed. So I'm really hyped to get it, and obviously because I shoot a lot of like portraits with these things. Brandon knows. Brandon's waiting for this as well. I know he is. It looks like the actor. It looks like the character. I think the Hot Toys one was good. It was great. But it was like a more tamer version, I think. I think the Hot Toys just kind of took so long to get it out. And there were some inaccuracies with it. You did have to kind of do some slight mods to the outfit. And it wasn't that weathered either, whereas this one looks disgusting and amazing and beautiful and horrific, and I can't wait.
Excellent. I'm worried for you. No, I have seen the two movies, and I do like horror movies. I actually do. I don't tend to collect horror, but I do like horror movies. And I actually bought the book. I'm in the middle of reading it. I bought it I think I bought it in October, and I think I'm on page 19. So yeah, I'm getting stuck into it. So I might have it read by next Halloween. But yeah. No, this again, it does look. It looks terrifying. A testament
Holy
to
shit.
art. So I think one which I think
I love
this
that.
is on my list. This next one, and I'm pretty sure it's on Dan's. Is it on your list as well, Anne?
What's that?
This one's on my. This is one of my most anticipated pre-orders. And I think this is on your list as well, Alan, is it?
Yeah.
And this is on yours as well, Dan, isn't it?
It was. Can I just say, because I'll say quickly, because I'm into horror as well. So I've got like
I love that.
a few masks. This was from Seven Sins, and I'm tempted to get that Pennywise as well. That wasn't on my list, but that's one of the things I might get.
You've just
It looks great. Yeah, it looks. The problem is I've missed the pre-order with it.
Have you? Is it not?
No, it's not on kit either. And I did mention it to him, and he said it's on Toys Wonderland, which I definitely don't want to go down. And it's not on kit, and I don't know if I want to pay another $200 more, when it comes out. So we'll see. We'll see.
There might be some floating around, like there was with the Joker. Like people can't see POs.
I get you. Floating around. As in, he'll float too. That's very clever.
We all float.
We all float.
Yeah.
Let's say yeah. We all float down here, Shane.
Yeah. So Peyton's saying, let's get nuts. I think it's definitely time to get nuts here. So
all over this, mate.
I'm gonna start on this one. It's a brief synopsis. I could talk about this movie all night, but we don't have all night. The 1989 Batman was the first movie I remember ever loving, and it's one of my earliest. It's the earliest. It wasn't the first movie I ever saw, but it was the first movie I saw where I was kind of going. The first movie I was like, I'm in love with this movie. I love this. I'd known Batman from the 1966, and it was on like T-shirts and coffee mugs and stuff like that. But this is the first movie I was like, this is like a grown-up film. And I remember my parents watching it as well, and it's like I remember watching it as a family when we were really, really young. I must have been I think I first saw it when I was 6, but I definitely remember specifically one Christmas, a few Christmases after it came out, watching it. Just loved the suit design, Keaton's performance, Nicholson's performance, the Batwing, the Batmobile, the darkness, Tim Burton's gothic style. I loved it all. Vicky Vale, first crush. But like this was that they're actually going back and redoing this. I love that. And they seem to have made significant improvements. Now, a very, very good friend of mine gave me my first custom cape, a Jackson Jew custom cape for the DX19. He's sitting on the panel there. Alan, thanks very much. I actually, it does elevate the DX19 to another level. I don't know if I'm going to have to get a replacement cape for this one. I am skeptical when it comes to Hot Toys.
I think so.
I wouldn't scare me after seeing Jackson's work. So just because you really want to maximize. I don't like to have to do it, but at the same time, you want to. I can see why you would after having that one there. I love the base on this. I love the accessories that come with. I'm not gone on the way they flip the cape over the shoulders. That's not the way.
That's not it. No.
I think the head sculpt on the right is the strongest. I can see what they're going with. The middle one, the one on the left, actually reminds me of Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer, yeah, definitely.
But that one there, put him next to the Batmobile. Get yourself a Jackson Jew cape or whatever if you need it. It could be too early to tell, but
Jedi Knight's watch. Like he's obviously got his big Batmobile, and he's got, I think, is it the Returns or the 89? stood
think
next
he's
to
got
it.
the 89, but I think he's got
Um,
I think he's got a Tony May cape, does he?
Oh, and it just looks.
Yeah,
it looks-
Tony May was the one when that came out.
There
That
you
was
go.
the sort
Yeah.
of first ones. Yeah,
He was
Look
the
at
guy,
that.
wasn't he?
yeah. Wow, that was good. Man.
Yeah.
Sick.
There's a
The thing is with
strange
the cape,
texture
though,
to
is-
this.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
weird texture. It's-
The thing is with the capes, though, is obviously you'd probably have to wait a little while until the figure comes out, till you get that best definitive cape, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
You'd have to wait. You'd be happy with it for a while, and then you'd have to give it a few months for
Patience is the name
Jackson
of the
or whatever
game.
to get it right, if you know what
Yeah.
I mean. You know, version 1 or
'Cause,
2.
obviously, it's going to be a little bit taller, isn't it, than the previous Keaton Batman?
Yeah.
So you might have to kind of get the measurements right on the new body with like new capes and things like that.
Yeah, this looks great though, doesn't it? Wow,
Oh,
this is going to
yeah.
be. Look at that.
I love the middle one here. This I think it looks like a
Yeah.
crossbow that he used in the museum. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, this. Are we all getting this?
Yep.
Oh yeah, yeah.
This is going to
yeah.
sell out. This will be.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Can you pose it like this?
Yeah, it comes with rods,
Tons
doesn't
of
it?
poles, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Rods.
okay, yeah. That'd be
How
good.
sick does that look?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Comes with a
Have
lot.
you pre-ordered this, guys? I'm just going to wait until it come out in Hong Kong.
This,
And
this,
then...
Yeah.
this and the Batmobile.
You got the Batmobile.
I
Where are you going to put that? Shane?
Shane's flexing.
I've-
Just flexing in more ways than one. There.
that I'm getting prepared to carrying that Batmobile around myself. So I've got the Batpod on. I have a little shelf here that I use. I collect some graphic novels. I'm not a seasoned comic book head, but there are some graphic novels that I like, and I have a cabinet there, just a £40 or €40 IKEA thing. But on the top of it, it's a perfect space for the Batpod, and it sits so perfect, too perfect. Now, the Batmobiles will not fit there, so I'm kind of like looking at things I will and won't do. I know I won't put it on top of the details. I won't do that. I know I won't put it on that because the Batpod looks too good there. There's a windowsill here, and I don't like the idea of putting it there, but it could work there because I've measured it and it's long enough. It might be a few inches not wide enough in terms of the Batmobile's quite wide, but there's a few different things I'm looking for. Another solution is I have a corner desk here, so directly behind the laptop here, there's actually a lot of space. Like, so I'm gonna have to get creative because I don't want to walk in and go, that's in the way.
Or you can't see it.
Yeah, I don't want that. Like, so.
Yeah.
It could be it could be a bad decision in hindsight, but I think if there was one Batmobile I was going to get, it was going to be this one. If this is one, like I as much as I love the Tumbler, and the 66 looks amazing, and that new 22 look good, this is, when I think about Batmobile, this is the one I think of. So yeah, I'll work it out. I don't know yet.
You'll make it work.
The windowsill will work, but I don't know will it work with my collection. I don't know will I like the look of it on the windowsill. You know what I mean? I don't want it looking like, oh, you know where to put that, so just throw it there. You know what I mean?
It's tricky, isn't it? Because I'd love the DeLorean, but it's just putting it somewhere that you want to see it all the time, and I just haven't got the room unless I buy more module cases, and I don't want to do that yet. But I'd love vehicles. I think the vehicles look great, but it's just they're so big, aren't they? It's like I'd love the snow speeder. Love that.
Oh, it's huge.
The Jazz Inc. snow speeder. That would be amazing. But that's massive. That would be crazy. Where to put that?
So this one, I think this is one of my most hyped pre-orders.
Yeah, man.
we're
I think
gonna
it's
go-
most people's.
Yeah, it's on a lot of lists, I think.
Yeah.
I think the day that this got announced, like I think everyone was just like,
Yeah, happy.
it was the opposite of today's Batman.
Isn't it weird, isn't it? The complete
Yeah.
difference of what they did. Like, I mean, everyone wants this. And I think even with the older version that they brought out, let's see the Flash one, see it first. But yeah, a lot of people got excited with that as well. So, but this is for collectors of our sort of age and that sort of thing. It's so iconic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ticks so many boxes. Like this is the definition of a triple threat for me. Love the character, love the source material, and love this version.
Well, I remember when
the
this came
suit,
out.
the actor, everything.
Well, when this came out, Shane, in 1989, I was 13. So, and I remember going to the cinema, and it was the biggest cinema opening of all time, wasn't it? It was the biggest film by that time when it came out. And I remember there was, because obviously Star Wars had ended a few years before, the trilogy and all that. So you didn't have the figures around and all that. And this had so much. There was everything. It was everywhere. It was Batman signals and Batman this and that cards and stickers and Prince's album. And, it was a phenomenon in the summer, if you know what I mean. And I remember watching this film, and, when a film stays with you and you just want to go and see it again and again and again, if you know what I mean. That's what it was like for me. I hope, and one thing they'll never do is, I would love a Nicholson Joker, because I had both of these originally years ago, and they've been sold on and all that. But I'd love them to do a Nicholson Joker again. I don't think they ever will because of licensing, but
he doesn't even appear in any of these photos on the back computers.
No, he doesn't, does he? No, I didn't think about that.
No. Yeah. This is
amazing.
It's a little piece of your childhood.
Yeah,
very expensive.
That's what I was talking to you before, Shane, about the RoboCop and perhaps picking up Back to the Future. Is that's what I'm thinking of going towards a little bit more. It's a bit more sort of my sort of
nostalgia.
Childhood and nostalgia more than. Well, this is it. This is my one. Yeah.
Oh, see the way I just I knew you were going to say nostalgia at some point. And bang, talk to us. I don't have any interest in this. I'm not a big Rocky fan, but I have seen the movies. But
I grew up again. Talking about my age again. I grew up in the 80s. Well, I was a 70s kid, but I was too young to see Rocky and Rocky 2 in the cinema. I was too young. But I remember getting Rocky 3 on VHS. Yeah. I don't know what that is.
Support the NHS.
No, Rocky was sent to the NHS after.
On VHS, Rocky 3, Mr. T, and it's still in my top 20 favourite films of all time. I love Rocky 3. I wish they'd done a Rocky 3 or even a Rocky 4 with the boxing. But to be honest, this is, for me, it's not perfect. The head sculpt is definitely not perfect, but it's better than that Star Race abomination that they did, which is, I cannot believe that they got the license. It's awful. It's dreadful. But for me, this is it's a really good starting point for what I want to do, because again, it's not like Star Wars. I would collect every Rocky. Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, Rocky 5 was dreadful, but we won't talk about that. Hopefully they'll never do a Rocky 5. But for me, I'm really excited about this. I'm thinking about picking up that 3-0 Rambo, John Rambo, which was really good. I prefer that one to the Stallone Rambo they brought out. But going back to this, it looks great. I think again, the head sculpt's 80%, because Stallone's very hard to do, in my opinion. But this is the best figure you're going to get. And I think I'm not going to go for all because I'm as Shane knows, I'm a very minimalistic stands, the custom stands, like the old school oval stands. I put all them on, but I just love that because it all looks the same. So I'll do that. So I'm not going to get the door.
Do you order them like separately? Do you order like in batches?
Yeah. I'm going to do a video on that because loads of people have asked. It's very easy to do. But it's just the way I like it. I like it all uniformed and all that, and you get more room because they're only
they're quite a small footprint, isn't it?
Yeah.
So now when Dan says something like that, am I supposed to go onto his channel and leave a comment saying, "Watching you with all these uniform stands puts other under pressure to use stands"? Yes.
No, because Shane put up a video the other day with those oval stands with a cross through it. Hang on, I use them.
Yeah. But see how we have the opposite approach to standing figures up, but yet we're here streaming together.
Do you know what, mate? I like them without the stands, but some of the oldest figures are so dodgy with the legs, the ankles.
You don't want to take the risk.
And I don't like doing one that hasn't got a stand and someone hasn't.
Yeah, no, I get it.
In the module case, they're right next to each other. Anyway, going back to this, I really like this. I've not pre-ordered it because Stallone makes you pay up front. I'm not doing that. I'll just wait. Bastard. Yeah, so I'm not doing that. I'll wait until it comes out.
Yeah. And seeing as he's a loan shark collector, he'll find you.
Yeah, I love it. And Butkus, and it looks. I love it, man. I think again, I'd love him. I wish they'd done a boxer version, Rocky 3 or Rocky 4. That will definitely come. I love the box. The box looks amazing.
I was about to say it looks like a DVD collection or something. You know, like
Looks great.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So I think they'll sell a lot of these.
I've seen like Dean Knight and Justin. They've both been reviewing
the Cobra.
Cobra and
pretty good, man.
Rambo.
Yeah, the Rambo's pretty good.
Really good. Yeah.
I prefer the 3-0 because you've got the proper full-on, you know. The knife.
Rambo 3, is it?
No, it's First Blood. It's First Blood.
It?
No, they've got a First Blood one, but it's got like the sack that he puts round it.
Oh no, yeah.
And and the gun at the end, you know, where he just shoots the town up. And I prefer that look. So I might pick up because you can pick it up. But this looks great. I mean, you know, you just want to get a few more Arnie figures in there. Like you say, Lethal Weapons, and they all grow into, you know, thing. But for me, this is my childhood again.
It looks great.
So, you're all in on this one then. I just want to address one or two comments here. So X-Man Supreme says Batmania was real in '89. Michael says I was 27 when '89 came out. So glad it wasn't campy like '66 Batman. Yeah, absolutely. This is pretty cool as well. Here in Brazil, that's pretty cool. We got some people from Brazil. There were lines, I presume, kilometers long to see Batman 1989. That is pretty cool that someone's watching from Brazil, and the fact that piece of history there, those massive lines. I suppose that's before like the internet, where you can just go on and book your seat and stuff.
Absolutely,
like that, so.
You had to queue, and if you missed it, you had to wait for the next one.
That's mad, isn't it? Like we're spoiled. I prefer the 3-0 Rambo 3 to First Blood.
Oh, that's interesting. I've not had them in hand.
Stallone figure is so far as VTS Toys Judge Dredd. All right, okay. So
cool.
The next one, I'm going to pick a random tab. I can see a bunch of Facebook tabs open here, so I'm going to pick a random tab. We're going to go with this one, and I'm not sure who actually. You know, are you good for another while?
Yeah.
You're not in a rush or anything? Cool.
I'd love to see Chinese thing.
Sorry.
I'd love to see a Copland Stallone. That would be kind of cool. Have you ever seen Copland? Love that fucking film.
Yeah.
Someone said Demolition Man. That would be really cool as well.
Oh yeah, Demolition Man.
But let's just get all the Rockies done first. Oh wow.
So
here we go.
I'm just going to go down and grab a beer, right? So myself and Alan and I, after watching D-Night and interviewing D-Night, we are obviously diehard Batman Begin fan, and we're meshing back and forth, and I think we both commit to do the exact same thing. So I'm just going to grab a beer if you want to just fill them in on our stupidity and our splurging there over the last. We're either going to be really stupid or geniuses, but we've been inspired by Dean Knight. I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, so like basically the thing was, this thing went up for, I don't know if you saw it, like this thing went up for pre-order on 1/6 kit, and it's Jackson Ju, you know, who makes the capes and things like that. He's done the odd head sculpt here and there. I think he's done like a Steve Rogers and a Wonder Woman. He put this up for pre-order. I think it was like $85 on 1/6 kit.
Sold out,
fully painted. I think the PO's open till the 18th of June. If you've got 1/6 kit open, you need an account to see it. I think you need to log in and then search Jackson Ju, and this thing should pop up. So basically, after kind of seeing this, it inspired me to get the new Batman Begins by Hot Toys. You know, the kind of one with the shit head sculpt and shit cape. So yeah, we've I think Shane and I were kind of like enabling one another to like build, you know, as the Knight has, like build a you know, a better Batman Begins. So obviously a custom cape, this custom cowl, you know, painting the kind of the gauntlets, so you know, getting them a little bit shiny. Just basically just like taking that Hot Toys figure and improving it with all of these like little custom bits here and there.
So it's are they both Jackson? Which one's the one?
So it's the same cowl, And it says that it comes with 2 mouth plates.
Because the one on the right is the one for me. That looks amazing.
I think it's essentially the same cowl, but like lit differently. And I think
Really?
the mouth plates are slightly different.
That's what I mean. The mouth plate on the right is...
The mouth plate on the right is bob on. I think there might be like a slight kind of like upturn on the one on the left on the mouth. But yeah, you're getting two little mouth plates with it, and as I said, it's all fully painted. I cannot wait. It's scheduled to come out, I think, toward the end of the year. This thing.
Q4, I think.
Q4. I can't.
And have you ordered your cape as well? Have you ordered the cape? Is it
Yeah.
like the velvet cape, velvet thing? Is it? Or
Yeah, well, with the cape, I think it was OT Customs we went with for that. And that was basically purely because I think that one was cheaper than Jackson and Unreal. But I've got an OT cape for the DX19, and the quality's like really good.
I'd like to see that actually. Have you got it on your? Is it on your site? Is it or?
Yeah. I'll. He's over there.
I'll show me the pics. I'd rather see the pics. You know.
Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's great. But he is kind of putting the prices up for his capes a little bit. Just I'm not sure why. I think just like cost of materials and things like that. But yeah, like I think this is gonna really kind of just elevate that Batman Begins figure like completely. It looks awesome, and it's a fraction of the price of people like Unreal Customs and OT Customs, and yeah, I can't wait. It looks incredible. And
Ryan Smith has said something here about, because I mean I like that. I actually prefer the Batman Begins suit, to be honest, but I've got the DX19, but he says make sure you get the latter batches.
Yeah. So I think when Dean Knight got his like first batch from Hong Kong, it was shiny. Like the suit was really shiny, and I think
he'd done something to it, didn't he? Put
he used
on
some kind of chemical to take the shine off, and kind of I think he fucked it a little bit, and then he bought another one from eBay.
Oh, right,
and when that one came, it had like a matte finish. So
oh wow, okay.
He's under the assumption that like later batches don't have that shine to them.
Right. Okay.
I picked mine up from Lion Rock Toys, I think last week. It's been shipped, but I have obviously no idea what batch it's from or what the state of the body will be. But
there's a lot to do. Like, I mean, this is something I thought I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. But like, I mean, all jokes aside, I don't in art. Like they said, they're still doing the Bale DX19. Fine, okay, fine. We'll just push that to the side. But they're not going to do this, and if they were going to do this, it's going to take years. Hot Toys aren't going to do the 3.0 because they messed up the 2.0. Like they're not going to just go do that. Stranger things have happened, but so like your option then is like third party or build your own. The best one that I've seen has been from Dean Knight. If anyone hasn't actually checked it out, if you check out Dean Knight's review for the Batman Begins 2.0 that came out last year, I genuinely think it was the worst figure that Hot Toys released last year. The pegs, these pegs are pointed kind of down at an angle. The pegs on the 2.0, I think it's like 3.0 or whatever this day,
like out
were
there.
Up here. The cowl was too long. There was a glossy finish, not matte. The gauntlets weren't correct either, and the cape was awful. Even things about the first night out outfit. The balaclava wasn't the same as the previous Toy Fair exclusive. It was like little tiny little pinholes. It was really funny. But next, when he was reviewing this, he had his version, and he has the OT Customs cape, which is, I believe, the one we just ordered. He's got, I think it was an Unreal Toys custom head sculpt.
Yeah.
He had the body, I think at the time he had the body from the original Toy Fair exclusive First Night Out.
Didn't he have some Medicom thing or something as well, didn't he? Like a Medicom.
Takara, I think it was, possibly.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah,
I think that's how he got
parts,
the gauntlets, possibly. So, I mean, myself and Alan have gone the same way. We're getting the Jackson Jew head sculpt. I've got the OT Customs. He's gone and got the 2.0 Batman Begins. I genuinely think that it's a figure which is destined for the bargain bin. So I'm not in any rush to pick up that, but I I will be picking one up eventually and try to get the non-glossy.
The thing is, though,
version.
Shane, you've got to be careful where you're going to get the first batch or the last batch.
Yeah, exactly.
Because
yeah,
where
I
you
want to
order
get the
it,
non-glossy one. The matte one.
Yeah.
So I think it's a waiting game there.
Yeah.
Randomly, I'm going to be a bit cheeky here now, but I'm looking for not this figure. I am looking for this base here, because the way he displayed it, he had this. D Knight had this base on it, and the way he displayed it, he had the Batman Begins, his custom figure, standing on this piece. It's very narrow, and because it's so narrow, the OT Customs drape cape hung down either side, and it looked like that scene from The Dark Knight where he's perched above the city after he's captured Falcone. It's his first night out as Batman, and I want to get this. I've tracked a few down on eBay, and a bit out of they're crazy prices. Like one of them's like £120, and it's like no. And then someone else messaged me. I went on to buy, sell, trade. I put this photo up and explained that I didn't want the figure. By the way, this is the MMS 143 Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3. I just wanted the base, and I pay for it. Like, we're not paying £120 for it. So some guy messaged me and goes, "How much are you willing to pay?"
Wow.
Just get on to me and goes, "I have the base you wanted. It's 50. Come on, how much I'm willing?" So I was like, "All right, I'm gonna fuck with this guy. $30." So like, come on. Just like if you have it and you're selling it, name your price, and I'll either take it or I'll leave it. But if anyone in the chat has this and they're willing to part for it, just message me, tell me how much you want for it, and I'll either say yes or no. But yeah, I'm trying to track that down. But like, again, under no pressure really. So sorry, did we want to? Were we pretty much done on that then?
Pretty much. Like I just hope it turns out. I mean, really, you've really paint wise, you've really got to really paint like the tiniest.
What's his track record like before?
Jackson,
pretty good. Isn't
I
he?
think really good. Yeah.
So
I've seen like a few of his sculpts, like as I said, like a Captain America sculpt. He's done, I think, a Wonder Woman, and it's always the business, like. So hopefully, if it turns out like this, I think there's going to be a lot of happy people out there.
Yeah.
I like the Knight's one where is it the cape where it like just drapes around the bat?
Yeah.
Like it just drops down. Yeah. I love
that's
that
the one we're talking about.
Is it? All right. Yeah.
There's awesome. Such a Batman. It's such a Batman Begins thing, isn't it? The kind of like really flowy cape. Love it.
I actually prefer
bargain. Shiny coming in the clutch. Under 120. It's not even pounds. It's dollars. 120 freedom dollars. Okay, so we're gonna pick the next thing now. Who do we have? I'll pick this one here. Okay, I think this is on everyone's list. People in the chat, I just want to shout out to the chat as well. Thanks very much for being here with us. It's shocking the way 50 people are choosing to listen to us shite on, but like very much appreciated. If you haven't done so already, consider hitting that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Again, there's a channel membership link pinned if you're interested in that. And if you haven't done so already, please follow at the 6 Scale Gallery on Instagram and subscribe to the 6 Scale Gallery on YouTube. Also subscribe to Dan in Carbonate on YouTube and follow at Dan in Carbonate on Instagram. So this one here, I think everyone's interested in this. Although the 40th anniversary definitely threw a spanner in the works, but I'm going to start with you, Alan.
Right. So, unlike you guys, I don't have any Star Wars in the collection at the minute. But like, I think, although
it's grand.
I'm getting there. I'm trying to improve myself. I enjoy Star Wars. It's just that I haven't bought anything, and it's. I was always like a Marvel. Like Marvel got me into Hot Toys, and obviously I'm a big DC fan as well. And I was like, if I go Star Wars, that's another lane that I'm just gonna be spending money on and things like that.
It is, yeah. It is.
But
I love this. Sorry, this comment. I can't believe Shiny actually remembered this. In Ireland, like, if you say, I will, yeah, it usually means no. So it's like, come here, will you lend me €50? I will, yeah. It's like, will you collect me from the bus stop? Yeah, I will, yeah. As in, it's just pure. So yeah, So I love the way he remembered me telling that story. But yeah, so hit that like button. Yeah, I will. Yeah. So sarcasm. Sorry, go on, lad. Sorry.
No, and I think it was. I really did enjoy Kenobi. Obviously, there were elements of it that weren't great, but the Hayden back as Darth Vader was awesome. And that fight between him and Obi-Wan at the end, and you're seeing the helmet got it all fucked up, and seeing what Hot Toys have done with it, prototype wise, I was like, I've got to get this. If I shoot toy portraits and stuff, I'd be an absolute idiot if I didn't pick this up, because it's going to be an absolutely awesome portrait to shoot. So yeah, and I think it was like celebration, like seeing everyone like really kind of like you guys, really hyped for it, and I was like, I want to be involved. Do you know what I mean? I felt like on the outside, like looking in, like in the window, everyone's like having fun in Star Wars Land, and I was like, I want to play in Star Wars Land. So I couldn't resist this, so I PO'd it. I think I think I PO'd it, and then the Return of the Jedi version kind of got announced. But I think with this particular head sculpt, this one was that swayed it for me, just because it looks so awesome, with the Hayden Christensen likeness, and it's just so awesome and fucked up and horrific, and I just love it.
Dan?
I think I am going to get this. I think like I say, I said before, I'm a one character per figure person. So in Star Wars, because there's so many different characters and things and all that. I've got the Empire Vader at the moment, and my Bespin Luke is being delivered tomorrow. So I'm going to have that next to each other. But this one, again, what Al was saying is I really like the head, because what I've got at the moment, I've got Vader. It will be Luke one side, then Vader, then the Emperor, and then Attack of the Clones Anakin. Revenge of the Sith. So it'd be a nice sort of.
Oh, that'd be nice.
So you've got Luke one side with, you know what I mean, and then Vader like coming through with the Emperor and all that, So it's.
I love that.
It goes into the middle, if you know what I mean. I was thinking of that, and I just think the each Vader that they bring out, the proportions and the figures are actually better, because as we've talked about this before, the bloody hands on Vaders are awful. They keep popping off all the time. You haven't got any, Al, have you? You don't know. But have you got Vader, Shane?
No. And
right, okay. Well, they pop off all the time. They're a pain in the arse. So I'm really hoping that they. Yeah, but I mean, we're talking. I mean, that Empire one was 3 years old now.
I can imagine it's similar to the Captain America figures. Have got like a slight kind of like a longer glove, and they're a fucking nightmare.
So when you sort of bend it like to do something, it just pops off. And you're,
fucking nightmare.
So hopefully they'll sort that out. But yeah, this. I mean. It's not as iconic as a Jedi or an Empire sort of scene, but I just think the proportions and the way it's made, I think will look. I mean, look at that. That looks.
That's
evil, dark. Obviously, coming from a horror fan as well, it's quite that sort of horrible sort of.
Look at that.
Yeah. That sold me. Yeah.
I have used this for too many thumbnails.
I've noticed.
It's just awesome, like.
I'll get this. I will get this. I'll get this. But I'll wait until. Look at that. I mean, even that looks. Go back, Shane. Go back to the other one.
Yeah.
With the. I mean, even that looks. If that's on your shelf, that still looks great.
Exactly.
I mean, it does. It's a slightly different dome to the Empire one, still, isn't it?
I think so. I think it's like a bit more Rogue One-y, possibly. But
and
like
this one here, if you have this one posed behind the Mark 1 Iron Man, the fan will keep this blowing. Problem solving it. Have it. Yeah. It's like,
that sounds so fucking loud as well. Like I saw. Oh, how could you put up with that? Yeah.
Shane, are you getting this?
Pardon?
Are you in on this?
Oh, this has been pre-ordered. I couldn't pass up on it. The 40th anniversary one. Yeah, like I couldn't make the decision between the two of them. It's and they're
Well, this will come out before, so you'll know.
Yeah, but this is pre-ordered. But the 40th, I can't pass up the 40th either. I just can't. So remember,
Don't need two Vaders, Shane, do you?
Yeah, and they're very similar to RoboCops. It's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Do you remember about? I think it must have been about 6 months ago, maybe a year ago, even Alan. I was saying that there's an IKEA Mills bow down in my my living room.
Yeah.
And that's my trooper display. All my troopers are down there, bar the original trilogy troopers up here with the original trilogy figures. I have this vision for the collection there where no matter who you are, if you walk into the house, you know, even if you're not a film fan or a comic fan or a Marvel or DC or science fiction or movie fan, no matter who you are, you'll be able to go, oh, I recognize all these characters. So like have like there's like 8 cubes, so I was thinking like hero villain, hero villain, hero villain, hero villain. So Besman Luke, Vader, DX19, purple coat inert Joker. Yeah, you know, like I know Mark 6 Iron Man, Loki. Do you know? So when you're walking in, it's like, oh, you know all these. Like at this stage, like you could probably put Mando in there because he's a household name.
Yeah.
Ahsoka is a household name. You know, so so one of the Vaders will be here and one of the Vaders will be downstairs. The troopers then will have to be relocated. But yeah, this is just beautiful. Just
man. This will sell. Do you think this will sell?
Yeah. I think this Vader sells though, you know. So I think this and the thing is there is is there 2 SKUs in this? There's a regular and deluxe.
Yeah.
It's interesting. The regular comes with all the battle damage parts, and the deluxe comes with.
Yeah, you need to get the deluxe. Really, I'll have to buy the deluxe.
Yeah, because then you can pose it like this, or you could like just have it like a stand-in for just your whatever Vader with whoever. You know?
I think I went for the. Obviously, you get the clean parts and the damage parts as well.
I went 2 figures then, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah. But I am really drawn to that particular look with the damaged. Even though it's not as iconic as like full Vader, I couldn't not have that on display.
Yeah, because you're thinking like.
I'm thinking of it from
a
portrait photography type of thing. I'm even, I'm planning the fucking shot in my head. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm thinking, using
that. Look at that. That's sick, doesn't it? And that's
even
well lit.
The eyeballs. Yeah. Imagine with like a bit of a kind of like a red kind of LED. Just can't wait. Can't wait.
Class.
But yeah, I am a little bit like Shane in the way that I'm a little bit Vader blind. I know there are differences between like the different films and like the
dome's slightly different. Yeah, in this, I think. Yeah, it's like you can see there. Yeah, but look at that.
I'm a little blind to it. Oh shit! I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
And alone, Alan.
Yeah, I'm going to switch my camera off for just a minute. I am still really curious as to how the USB lightsabers are going to work because we haven't seen them yet, have we? Is this the first figure?
Kenobi's the first one.
Is it Kenobi? Okay.
Kenobi's the first, yeah.
I'm really, really interested to see. I don't know if it's going to be any better than the battery operated ones, but it's something different, isn't it? Like it's a different. I don't think it's going to beat the CCFL sabers. They're just insane. From what I've seen. From
I actually did. I was flat out. I finally got around to recording my review on the DX23 Luke today and the DX13 Terminator, and I've got. They're not up yet, but I've got all the kind of hard work done, all the recording done. I just have to do the voiceover. And one of the things I did was a lot of the main shots of it I just wanted to take it in the DTOF just to show you what it could look like on display in a well lit DTOF with the CCFL. But what I did was I took the swap out arm that has the batteries and plugged in the lightsaber and just had the arm and held it up in front of the CCFL so you can see this is the Hot Toys which will die in another 10 minutes. And then this is the CCFL that actually looks like a saber. Yeah. Now, the USB ones, maybe they're going to be as good as the CCFLs. Maybe they're going to be better. I don't think they will be better.
I don't think they will because it is essentially a tube of light, which is what CCFLs are basically.
Yeah.
So I am curious as to how it's going to
But
look.
CCFLs are expensive.
Yeah,
To be fair,
that's
so you got to weigh up
the
the
thing.
pros and cons. Again, that could be come back to that minimalist display or whatever, because I don't have 200 figures behind me. I can go and get a saber for 150. You know what I mean? So that's just what each to their own, you know. Just a few chats here. There are 45 people watching. Massively appreciated. If you haven't done so already, hit the like and subscribe to everyone here. Who do we got? Shiny Vader's hands popped off all the time in the movies too, though. That's fair. How does this guy come up with this stuff?
I think it's is it an AI?
Yeah.
It's shiny chat GPT.
Yeah, exactly. X-Man Supreme having a laugh. Nothing wrong with two Vaders in my opinion. Single rolling eyes function, that's funny. Sculpts on point. If you turn them to the side, you get the clean one anyway. Yeah. Very happy with the Return of the Jedi, but this one makes me think twice. Boba Fettuccine giving the direct order saying hit the like button. Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this here. I'm going to swap onto this one here. I believe this is you, Dan. I'm just going to check the private chat. I see a chat has gone up there.
Yeah, it's me. I'm going to have to shoot soonish anyway, but this is for me. You know, we've wanted Padmé for ages. I think the head sculpt looks brilliant. The outfit looks good. I mean, you know, it's Natalie Portman. You know, we wanted her for ages. Luke's mum, Leia's mum. You know, it's one of those things, and I think she'll look great on the shelf next to Obi-Wan, and I mean, I think the head sculpt's bang on. I don't know about you guys,
I think it's very good.
It's great, isn't it?
I think there's one picture coming up that I thought, when I first saw it, one of these, I actually thought it was
I think this one looks like promotion image of there was like
Yeah.
principal photography or something.
Yeah,
exactly, yeah.
They based
Yeah.
this on I think one of those. That looks very good.
Yeah. So I mean, look at I mean, I'm
That looks
probably
sick.
that one there. I mean, I might. Yeah. Look at that one there. Look at that. That is the way they've got
I'll
it
go back there
perfect.
again.
So I'm not sure if she'll be a massive seller, but I'm definitely going to pick her up. Just to complete the sort of line of that, and when Mace Windu comes along, you'll have all the sort of major sort of movie Jedis and sort of main characters. Then you'll sort of go into the secondary ones, your Kit Fistos and all that. But for me, she looks fantastic. She's looked great.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were happy and surprised that we actually got her in the end. I think the kind of hint was the mighty Thor. Do you gotta head away now, Dan, or are you good for another few minutes?
Yeah, I'm going to shoot now because I've got some bits to do. So
cool. What's coming up on your channel? Anything coming up?
Yeah, Bespin Luke. I'm going to do a little thing tomorrow or Wednesday, and then I'm just waiting on I've got a Trick or Treat Studio Halloween Kills Michael Myers. It's just coming back from being rehauled from someone online, so I'm just waiting for that to come back, and then I'll been re-haired and repainted. And
that's not Dean Knight, is it?
No. It's Nick Berg, a guy in Denmark who did my other two. I found him online, but I'm going to do a video about it. But it looks really good. So my horror collection will be growing a bit more, and then I'm going to do this video on these custom stands because a few people have asked. It won't take long. So
excellent, good stuff.
But thanks for having me, guys. Anyway,
thanks very much for coming on and giving up your time. We really do appreciate it. And look, we're doing this once a week on various different topics and stuff like that. This is the show. I want to kind of get more into topics as opposed to just going into the latest news and stuff like that. We might touch on it and then move on to the main topics. But Dan, thanks very much for joining us, and sure we'll see you again.
Guys. See you later, mate. Take care. See you later.
Take it easy, bud.
Bye.
Bye.
So then I think actually the last few I think are I think this one here was you. There we go.
Yeah.
Was that you?
It was me, yeah. This looks awesome, doesn't it? Like, to be fair.
I haven't. That is the picture as well.
It is. Look at that. Look at that. Classic Hugh
that's
Jackman
pretty
Wolverine.
And leather jacket as well.
I know.
Genuine leather.
I know. It's a shame. Like they did that with this, but then they haven't bothered to innovate with, like, you know, Star Wars character boots and things, and you know, things like that. You know, the things that they could. I'm sure it's an expensive material.
I noticed that today. Well, obviously, I noticed it before, but particularly today when I was posing the DX23 for review. And it's very obvious that, okay, these are pleather boots. I was a bit conscious, don't want to be straining these too much. You know, that kind of way.
Which is such a shame.
Super.
Which is such a shame.
Yeah.
Do you know
Have
what
you
I
locked
mean?
this one in?
No, I haven't actually. I've kind of cautiously been, you know, waiting for it to come out and keeping my eye on it. I would like to get it, but, you know, space and money and things like that. It kind of, as much as I do really like it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. You know, I don't know if I could stretch to it at the minute, but as I said, I'm really looking forward to it releasing. I just want to see the thing. I want to see people's images on Instagram. I want to see how well it's turned out, because like the things like the seamless, or the kind of seamless forearms, they look great. The leather jacket, that looks awesome. Do you know what I mean? Look at that.
And I hope they don't soften the venation on his arms, because if anyone is jacked, it's you, Jackman. That pun was not intended. That's just a happy coincidence. Like this guy, he's like the king of forearms. Like, and
my God,
the venation going on. Like,
it's insane.
So they need to make sure that they don't make these look like two plastic tubes with a few wrinkles on them.
It's
good.
Just the portrait looks great as well. It's just Hugh Jackman.
The portrait is deceptive though, because here it looks okay, but then it's like that there there it looks insane. Like, it looks really good. Like, I'm
trying to like keep my eye on like where.
Oh my God, look at that.
Oh my God, look at that. It's like the slight, like, you can just see like his teeth. You know, he's baring his teeth a little bit, and like the really strong like furrowed brow and stuff. Like, it just looks fucking awesome. Yeah. Sorry for swearing.
No, you're all right. You've been doing it all night.
I know. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. We don't mind a bit of swearing here. That's not the worst thing. Like, once we're on topic, it doesn't matter.
It looks really cool, man. It looks, and I think like I did enjoy this look for him in Days of Future Past. I do like the film. I personally,
I really like the film.
I really like the film. I don't know if anyone's gonna light me up for this, but I think personally First Class is the best X-Men film in general. I
can see where you think that. The original trilogy was like, I wasn't sold on the original trilogy. He's the best thing about the original trilogy.
I loved them at the time. I think the third one was never good. I don't think even back then. They have got that nostalgia. You know, that nostalgia pull. But I think First Class just had like, you know, a great energy. Do you know what I mean? It's about kids. Do you know what I mean? And I think Matthew Vaughn, who did that one, even the score, like the music, like everything, and you know Michael Fassbender. I love Michael Fassbender anyway. But him and James McAvoy kind of brought to it was like the, you know, kind of a youth and an energy, and obviously the younger actors, and it was a bit cooler. Do you know what I mean? In a kind of like slightly cheesy way, in a Matthew Vaughn-y kind of way. But I really enjoy the energy.
Prefer the third one wasn't great, but I do prefer First Class and Days of Future Past compared to the original three. Like, I only watched the original three for Hugh Jackman's performance. It's almost like they built the whole story around.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So. But no, I really did like this look for him in the film. I think it was, you know, it was very. I don't know if it's just because of this film. I think of Wolverine in this kind of get up. Do you know what I mean? With the shirt, kind of like the really kind of 70s. Like, it must just be because this film's like imprinted on me a little bit, but yeah, when I think of Wolverine, I don't necessarily think of him in the, because they did a different version, didn't they, ages ago, with the kind of the X-Men suit from the future. You know, he's wearing the kind of the kind of the outfit that they wear in the future. I don't know. I'm not describing it very well, but the X-Men, the Days of Future Past Wolverine that came out. Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
I
That
don't
was a pretty
think
good figure too, wasn't it?
that was. I think a lot of people like that one, and I saw a lot of people swapping out the head sculpt for like a custom one with the the kind of like the classic Wolverine mask and things like that. But I really do like this look for him, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Seeing people's reviews and people's photography, and this is one of those where like if it all lines up and it releases, and I've got I've paid off everything I need to pay off, and the price is good, I could potentially jump on this one, definitely.
Yeah, this is on my wish list for a good reason. Because I think Tremble Dust's point is actually kind of synonymous with my thinking. Like, my experience with the X-Men were watching a 90s cartoon. I haven't read the comics, okay? So then when I heard they was doing movies, I was like, oh, cool. This must have been like, I don't know, 16 when they came out, first one or something like that. I can't remember. And I watched it and I was like, oh, that wasn't great. But I really liked it. I was torn because it was like, that wasn't great, but every scene with Hugh Jackman I loved. And the same with the second
Jackman.
one. Yeah, and I was like, I'd heard even like, okay, Wolverine is supposed to be shorter. Where Hugh Jackman's like, I don't know, 6'2" or something like that.
Yeah.
But and he's a tank, like, But that being said, he played the role really well. Do you know what I mean? He was just rugged and angry all the time, and he's a bit of an ass, like, and that's what I liked about it. Like, it's just good TV. So again, loved him in Days of Future Past as well. I just think that one is, I guess, some of the best kind of Wolverine, Hugh Jackman TV. So this, this does appeal to me. It really does. But again, I just can't have everything. Like, and I think we're in the same boat here. It's probably too good to pass up. The head sculpt, the genuine leather jacket, it comes from good source material. Yeah. The only thing is, like, I want the adamantium claws, but he didn't actually have them in this movie. Yeah, I know. So that's a bit of a, like, you know what I mean? It's hard seeing him with the bone claws as opposed to the adamantium. I think of Wolverine, I think of the actual adamantium claw. Come on, like,
that would be the.
So, yeah. I mean, we know when InArt does it, they're going to be die cast. And
it's going to just be Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. So look, I don't know. This is one that there was some nice last summer. You look at that RoboCop 3 that came out of left field. This came out of left field. There were some nice surprises. Like,
I think these all got announced.
The Iron Man they did was the Mark III. So that was an Iron Man that was like, okay, it's not a neon tech or it's not a bloody D100 random color combination. It was like, yeah, people actually want this one.
Yeah, people are going to go for this.
So it'd be tough. There's some really good announcements last year, but this one, I really like this. I think we're in the same. I
think you nailed. Yeah, hit the nail on the head with it. It's like it's too good to pass up. Do you know what I mean? It's like, because I think someone mentioned in the comments as well, like this has got like future G-word all over it. Just because they haven't made many X-Men in general. And everyone loves Wolverine. Everyone loves Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Yeah. So I think everyone's gonna jump on this one. And if you miss out, you're gonna be paying through the nose for it.
Yeah, could be the way we're going. So this one I'm gonna pick another one. We're getting there. We got like 2 tabs left, I think. All right, okay. we're I'm gonna say I'd say this one's the last anyway, and I'm gonna go with this one here. So this one was on my list, and yes, it is an Iron Man. Oh. Because it's not just any Iron Man, folks. This is I'm just gonna go through this, okay?
Go.
So the previous Mark III was die-cast, I believe, but was undersized, and it had a swap-out torso. Yeah. It had a neutral torso and then a twisty torso. So is that really articulation? That's not to me.
No.
So this one is the proper 1/6 scale sized. It doesn't have a swap-out torso, it has this stuff called articulation. It has newly applied paint application, an amazing Robert Downey Jr. head sculpt, and it comes with a base which I actually quite like. Also, a clever little innovation in this is the base, which being the Ironmonger, which would be from the end of Iron Man, which is obviously, you know, a fantastic film. It has a crushed up helmet, which means you can display this with the amazing head sculpt. It would make sense because you know, at the time there, the faceplate just comes off, not the whole head like nanotech. But at the end, he had the thing ripped off him. So let's take a look through some of these photos. This one, when my first Iron Man figure, when I was trying to look for an Iron Man figure, the Mark 6 is my favorite one, but it was either this or the it was basically, I knew I wanted the Mark 6 or this. This wasn't available in 6 scale. I was long sold out, and it was kind of like, I still didn't really like that twisty torso thing.
Yeah, and it just looks too stout, doesn't it? It's the size. It's just the proportions are all off on the previous one. It looks very weird.
I love this with the with all the bits out. All the little, again, more articulated flaps, and then the little micro missile. I think they're like micro. Yeah. They're the kind of things you use in Gulmira. That scene is like the scene. Like the battle damage chest plate. This kind of like shield thing, and I think this actually serves a function as a shield. That's the way it's described.
That's what he uses it for, isn't it? Like at the end, but it. Look at that.
Rockets. That is pretty damn cool. Articulation looks good.
I think probably. Sorry,
this might be tough to pose on. It could be a 1-footer.
Oh yeah. I do think the battle damage is probably the way to go with this one.
Oh no, this is. Oh, you mean, sorry, no,
just
it comes
the parts,
yeah.
It just adds so much more, like, look at that. It just adds so much personality to it, I think, because it does get messed up toward the end of the film, doesn't it? And it's like,
I'm thinking having posed on that base as if it's just the end of the movie, and he's standing there with the head sculpt, battle damaged up, and just the crushed up. Because the deluxe one on this, I think this was one of those deluxe parts, and when I was ordered this from Line Rock, I was like, yeah, on this one I do want the deluxe. I don't always go deluxe. Like the Bespin, the better base came with the regular, so I said, look, I'm gonna leave the hexagon base, and I'll take the hit. I don't need the Vader with the it's a cool accessory, don't get me wrong.
I think it's a really cool accessory as well, yeah. This is another kind of head sculpt that would be like really nice to shoot. I think definitely, like, it looks. Look at that. That looks so cool. Yeah,
they've really upped their base game, haven't they? We haven't seen Sand Base in a while.
That's it. God, it looks great. Obviously, the way he's like kind of emerging from the ground, like it does in the film, and you see like all the kind of bits, like you can imagine just like shifting off him and falling off him. It looks so cool, man.
I hope that doesn't soften though.
They have been doing that quite a bit.
Yeah, because I'm looking up here now and I see the battling version. I think I was one of the 7 people who bought it, the oil change Spider-Man. And I'm looking up and I love it. I love the base he comes with, and I have him just standing on it, holding the I think it's Machinist Dickie Dava or whatever. I totally just made a butchered that with the box thing from No Way Home. And he's got the half mask sculpt on. I actually quite like the pose, but the base did definitely soften from prototype to final product.
I'm sure they've done it with something else as well lately. I can't think off the top of my head, but it just came out like a little bit softer than it. What was it?
There is. It's in my head somewhere, but I can't remember.
Is it a Star Wars?
Was it? There was something alright.
But yeah, definitely they've.
It's at the back of my mind there.
So hopefully, fingers crossed.
Hopefully, yeah. I went with the special edition bonus, but like, look, there are. Like, off the top of my head, like Iron Mans that I'd love to have, like, you know, I'd love to have the Mark 1. I'd love to have the Mark 5. I'd love to have the Mark 7. I'd love to have the Clean 85, you know. There's a bunch of different ones that, like, but, like, I don't need them. But, like, I already feel like I have, like, too many Iron Mans, but they're all different styles, you know what I mean? Like, the Mark 85 battle damage is like, you know, you can pose them in that iconic, and it is iconic now at this stage. I am Iron Man from the end of Endgame. And I've ordered a fusion reactor to go with that kit so I can have it lit up on the base, and it lights up the nano. That's going to look pretty damn sick, like, you know what I mean? So that, This is the first one. The Mark
Yeah.
6 is my favorite, and like, let's face it, after the trouble I've gone to wiring up the Mark 6 with the fusion reactors and the Mark 1 war machine, they're staying there for years.
Yeah,
I'm
not
not
moving.
I'm not had the hassle. Like, I've committed there.
Yeah.
But this one is it's the one that started it all.
Yeah, I think especially because this year's like the 15th anniversary of Iron Man. There's been a lot of like
2008 is when it came out, and it was May. So the math, 15 years.
Yeah, I think they've
You
been
know what I
doing
did, Alan? I
Go
saw
on.
this movie, and it was my first year out teaching, and I was living in a town where I knew like one person, and it was actually a really nice sunny day in May, and I went to see this, I was thinking, because I was looking forward to The Dark Knight, because The Dark Knight was coming over the summer, and I didn't expect to enjoy this so much as well, but I was like, yeah, this is pretty cool, the trailers look good. Went to see it, loved it. Because I didn't know anyone in town, I was like, all right, I went and saw it again the next day on my own again. And
Why
I was
not?
like, yeah, loved it. But,
yeah, I think it really was a game changer. I remember seeing it as well. I remember exactly who I went with, like which cinema I went to see it. I remember what the weather was like when it came outside. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember everything about going to see this film. And if you're gonna have any Iron Man, like this would be the one to have. I think, personally, like
if you just had to get one,
if you just had to get one, and if you were putting it in your kind of in your kind of icons display.
it could be this or the last one.
Yeah,
First or last.
First or last.
Can't go
I
wrong.
think, yeah. But I mean, this one's got like a certain charm, hasn't it? It's got the kind of the clunkier kind of
Man in a suit.
Man in a suit. Like it
Actual
takes
Iron
like
Man.
a whole system to take it off and put it on, and it doesn't just form around his body, which I do like. I really do like the nanotech look. Where it kind of just forms around. It kind of fits to his shape. I do quite like that, but there is something about those older kind of armors which were like, it took like a whole system to take it off and put it on.
I know exactly what you mean. It's a big deal.
Yes,
getting him in and out of the suit, because then he is going to war. Like, this has to be dialed in.
It's a conscious decision to go and stand on that platform and have all of these arms. Just put the thing on. It's like, you've got to have like it just in your head. I'm going out to just fuck stuff up. Like,
yeah.
Do you know
I'm
what I
going
mean?
to flick back to this because Ryan Smith has just said, aren't the adamantium claws in the bottom left pick? I don't think they are.
I think they're the bone ones, yeah.
I think they're just using this to showcase the seamless forearms. But you got me a little bit excited there, and I'm not going to lie.
I wish it did. I really wish it did.
It'd be nice to have that.
Because the bone ones always freak me out a little bit, I have to say.
Yeah, damn right. It'd be much better if blades were coming out of your hands. No, I know what you mean though. It's like doesn't his whole forearm have to change and gnarl to get? Yeah, it's. I get. It's like that's strange.
I think what I like about it as well is the obviously the bones come out. That's just his body. That's what his body does. And I love the line in the first X-Men where I think Rogue asks him if they hair. And he says every time, obviously when they're adamantiumed up and stuff. And I like the fact that when they do have the adamantium on him, they literally just like cut through his fucking skin and just like, you know what I mean? Like it actually is painful.
Yeah, I remember. I think we spoke about that line before. You liked that line. I just got a shout out to Mike L. Mike L is a channel member. He's also shout out to all channel members, folks. I have noticed it's not only the support. Or the membership, I appreciate it, but the fact that like every time I go live there's some of you here and there's some of you contributing and there's some of you asking questions and there's some of you supporting, and that does not go unnoticed. That is massive and I do appreciate it. I saw Mike on Ryan's Mr. Mom Collectibles live stream, and we kind of spoke briefly today. He's going to be on an episode of Visions, and I'm looking forward to speaking to him.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, he seems like a good dude, like, and very supportive of the channel. Speaking of another very supportive member of the channel, I ordered the Iron Man 3 and Wolverine Deluxe Special Edition. I hate paying MSRP. The thing is, paying MSRP for some of those beauties could be a good thing in a few years' time. Maybe this market will heal itself.
Definitely.
Who knows? just going to address a few more of these chats before we continue on. The OG Iron Man. This is definitely an upgrade from the original DC version.
Diecast.
Ah, right, yeah. Sorry. Brain fart. Has 2 beers, forgets acronyms. I loved it at the time, but once it was announced, I knew this has to be got. Yeah, that it's a legitimate. I didn't see anyone complaining about this 2.0. It was like an Iron Man release I didn't see anyone complaining about. Whereas, you see the Neon Techs and people complaining, or the D100, it's just another Iron Man, it's just repurposed. And, I get it, they got to make the money somehow, but,
I think...
sorry, go on.
No, I was going to say, when they hit on something that's, like, so beloved, like the Mark III, and they, like with the, I think the Mark VI kind of 2.0, I don't think there were that many people who were pissed about that either, because people love the Mark VI so much. People go, yes, like, I missed out, this is my chance, or like, yes, this needed an upgrade. Like the DX19 as well. That DX12 really did need an upgrade. Yeah.
But yet the difference, there was that bit of an outcry between the one that's going to come with the new transparent armory in the DX19. That's like gauntlets. Yeah. And a few little other tweaks, but it's, and who knows, we might get suckered in yet. This is interesting here now. I remember people speaking about this. Centro Cal, they need to get rid of the screw hole in his back. I remember talking about this. Now let's see if we can find an image of that.
Yeah, because didn't the other one have like a really visible like screw head like on the back?
There it is.
Wow. Okay.
That's not cool. That's like at least the armorer had screws on the feet. That isn't good enough, like Hot Toys. I remember people speaking. It's not a deal breaker, but Centro Cal, 100%. Thanks for that comment. That is right on the money. I remember them speaking about this when it was released or announced last year. And yeah, that's a bit of an eyesore. Now, I'm okay. 100% of the time, I'm never going to see this because I'm going to pose them facing out. Yeah. But sometimes you'll take photos and the silhouettes of the earlier Iron Man that we spoke of earlier on, the likes of the 3, the 4, the 6 is pretty chunky, the 7. They've got those like, jacked shoulders and kind of traps look, what I mean? They haven't been skipping shoulder and back there. But this, sometimes you would take photos of the back and the neck and the traps and stuff like that. Like, and that is, what do you think about this?
I'm trying to remember how they hit it in the previous ones. Like I've got
panels, little panels usually.
I've got a bunch of them, but I can't for the life of me remember. Like I'm looking at the Mark 6 right now. Yeah. I could turn them around, but I won't.
Mark 6, there's a plastic piece about this big. It's about like an inch and a half, and it's very narrow. And it pegs in. You take it off, and then you can see the screw.
Yeah, that's right. And it's underneath. Yeah, that's right.
I just did that with the arc reactors.
I was going to say CCFL. The fusions.
Yeah,
that's interesting. I didn't notice that.
Yeah. Big Rib says, I've been looking for an Iron Man. I don't have one. This might be the one. First or last, you can't go wrong.
Nope. Plus that head sculpt is like proper Downey Jr.
Say again? Yeah. We're going to take another look at that head sculpt. He's a little bit too weathered. Now he was, I think, 43 in 2008 when making that movie, I do believe. There's no question who it's supposed to be, but possibly a little bit more aged than he was in that movie. A little bit. I think the softening from proto to product, I think will take care of that.
Yeah. It looks cool, man. It looks really cool.
Looks bloody good. Okay, so last but not least, the final one. So if you're just joining us, we're discussing the pre-orders that we're most hyped for. I got to put up the warning there before we go in. So again, this live stream contains copious amounts of enabling FOMO and hype. Watching this may result in loss of funds and or spouse. So the last one, I think this is the last one. Yeah, because we did Wolverine. This is it. Saved one of the... Well, in fairness, there's nothing bad in this list really, but...
How did I forget? I forgot this was coming. I can't wait. I cannot fucking wait. It's just look. I mean, when you see the image of this one compared to the previous one, it's like what were they thinking with the previous version? Like, it's one of those ones where, like, I always wanted a Bane, and I always wanted the Joker, but the Hot Toys ones to me were never look good enough. Not that I'm like some, but it was the previous Bane was too skinny. It was the joints were like horrendous. Like I do enjoy a joint, because I'd be frightened to kind of.
So that took me a second to go, what's he talking about? Yeah. For posing purposes.
But yeah, even like a slight, you want to bend the arm just a little bit to make it look a bit more natural, not just like a T-pose. Like with Thanos, like the Infinity War Thanos, like that kind of seamless kind of arm. I always was very, very scared to kind of even put the slightest bend in that. I had to, because it looks stupid otherwise. But, like I think the joint was just like a bridge too far, like a very, very visible like kind of seam at the elbow on the previous version. This is like just like an improvement. Yeah, there we go, an improvement in every single way. It has that Tom Hardy kind of mass that that he had in the film. Like he wasn't like, I think you've said it a bunch of times, like he wasn't Schwarzenegger ripped out. He was just a big guy, do you know what I mean? He was like really kind of impressively built, but he wasn't like a washboard abs, and he wasn't.
His body fat wasn't exactly like
No, he was just a really big. I mean, I know it's Tom Hardy. I think he's quite short actually, but
he's 5'9". He's 5'9".
That's not short.
But he was still bloody.
He was still really imposing.
He had the work done to look imposing, like.
Definitely. And with the rolling eyeballs on this is an absolute must. Again, portrait photography. If you just make those eyeballs look off to the left or to the right, I mean, look at that, because that's all Tom Hardy had to act with in the film, were his eyes. You could just capture that perfectly. And the voice, obviously.
Yeah.
But like,
for you.
I
think everyone loves doing Bane.
Everyone
voices.
can do a Bane. Everyone's got a
I
Bane.
think everyone thinks they can do a Bane. I think I can do a Bane, but it's not great. But I still like doing it, even though it's bad. You know what I mean? It's like I like to play soccer, but like I'm bad at it.
Well, but I'd love to like hear a compilation of everyone's Bane and like try and guess who is doing what.
Dean, the Dream does a good Bane.
Does he? I'll have to.
And Rich reviews that Rich does a good one as well.
I'll have to try and.
That looks a bit sketched there. That looks a bit suspect.
A little bit. But I mean, I know exactly how I'm going to have this guy posed. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be not doing that.
That's all the collectors ditching their DX19s to get the transparent armory or the blue Batman.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just going to bend it backwards. The DX19. Fuck it. Yeah, he's going to be stood there. He's going to be holding the kind of the broken cowl. Just the kind of like nonchalant, like just the way I was going to say tosses it off. The way he kind of just like the way he kind of discards the cowl like it's nothing. Like this guy was nothing.
And that comes with him, doesn't it?
Yeah. I can't wait, man. I really can't wait. Oh, look at that!
And the bases.
If you go back, go back a couple images, that one, that's a film still, right there.
Oh yeah.
They've captured it
he's
perfectly.
Definitely got the mass in the chest and the neck and the traps and the seamless arms are. Obviously.
And I think even obviously people complain about like Superman figures and the arms a lot of the time can't go flush to the body. The black suit one can look sick. But this guy, like Bane, didn't. He couldn't. I don't think. I think he was just, that big that his arms kind of flop out to the sides a little bit. So I think they've captured the proportions just perfectly. I can't wait.
The vest looks great as well.
Vest looks awesome.
This reminds me of Tenet. Do you know the little red?
Yeah. On the back.
I wonder is that done on purpose? A little Christopher Nolan Easter egg.
Could be.
I need to go back and watch Tenet.
I love
then
Tenet.
Forward and watch Tenet. And back again.
And then at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I can have two TVs going. So gotta take notes. Like I think you need a
So-
thesis to understand what's going on.
Shit.
It took me about 5 watches to go. Ah, right.
Yeah, I think it took me obviously toward the end of. I love that shot as well. That's just
Yeah, I
ripped
love this
straight
one
from
here.
the. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's
That
a
one.
screen grab. Yeah.
Oh shit, man! I can't wait. It just looks so good. This was like Ryan Smith said, day one PO. Like I was like, I'm locking this off.
Yeah,
This is coming
mine
home.
was close enough. I'm going to address a few of these comments. There are 49 people in the chat. Thank you very much for joining us. So this is episode 6 of the Hope Show. This is the longest one we've done as well, but like a lot to talk about here. Funny story. I was offered the role of Robert Downey Jr.'s stand-in in the suit for the first Iron Man, but couldn't make it as I was back in New York City. I can't tell if you're serious or not, but I really hope you're
Yeah.
serious because that's a bloody good story. And
That
I want
would
to
be-
talk to you about this on Visions. Yeah, yeah, cool.
Would you like to know more?
Would you like to know more? I'd buy that for $1. Surprised Toby Spider-Man wasn't on anyone's list. You know what? I've locked in a Toby pre-order, but as I've said multiple times before, I'm not a Toby or Andrew fan. I'm a Tom fan. But I want to recreate the funny pointed meme. And yes, there will be 3 figures in the 1D talk because it would make perfect sense. I want Tom, Andrew, and Toby kind of going, was it you? Did you fart? Who? No, was it you farted, didn't you? Was that you? That's what I want, like, you know, and just with the head sculpts showing. So hopefully they all turn out good. Well, the
Yeah.
integrated suit is out, but I'm waiting for that to go.
Toby looks awesome. To be fair, like as soon as they announced that, like I think again everyone was just elated. Great sculpt.
They needed me the next morning, last minute, and when they found out I needed to catch a
Wow.
flight, they couldn't take the risk. I'll never forgive myself for that, but I still laughed about it. Oh god! So like, were you doing a bit of acting, or I'm wondering like how did that work? I you know, we could save that for Visions because that'll be my first focus question. You'll be in Visions, and I'll literally just be introducing everything, and you'll be mid-sentence, and the next thing like you'll just hear I'll be like, tell us about this
Tell us about the Iron Man thing, please.
yeah. This was a day one pre-order for me. It was more or less similar, as close to get. Can you tell me is the mic okay now? Was I just a bit too close to it? I think
I'm not
maybe,
sure
yeah,
what the problem was, but it
Yeah.
was just like a slight like crackle every so often.
yeah. The
but
laptop's calmed down now as well. I had it on all day because of Zoom. Yeah.
Since you did whatever you did,
Yeah.
it's been perfect.
Good stuff. Ryan Smith says, what Tom suit are you going for your trio? I'm actually going for the integrated one because that's how it was in the movie. I am picking up the one with the snow base, the red and blue. Now I might change my mind on that and just get the red and blue and have them pose like that, but that's not screen accurate then. So I might. A lot of people are they're getting the Garfield, they're getting the Toby, and they're ditching the integrated, and they're going straight for that red and blue, even though they never shared screen time. I can see why they're doing that. It might be something I'd do, but I'm waiting for the integrated suit just to really just die a death.
Yeah, that head
And
sculpt though for the final swing
Oh,
suit.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Oh my god,
so good, so good.
so good.
So I'm just going to flick through a few more of these questions before we round this out, or sorry, flick through a few more of these.
So
Images.
you've got this on PO, yeah?
Oh, this is like
Yeah.
I immediately sold my third-party version.
Oh
Third
yeah,
party was
yeah.
better than the Hot Toys one. I had a Feisen M35 in the Daft Toys kit, and I definitely thought it was better. But the Feisen M35 is more of a Schwarzenegger body, so it definitely wasn't perfect. But I did think it was better than the Hot Toys one, in my opinion. But like now, I went, no, look, this is dead in the water now because now I know that this is out there.
Official.
Took a bit of a hit, but yeah. But it's even. I wouldn't even mind if it was like if this one was if this 2.0 still wasn't as good as the combination of the M35 and the Daft Toys, then I wouldn't have this on pre-order and the Daft Toys would still be in my collection. But I do think I have faith that this is going to be the best 1/6 get out there, bar the really expensive customs. Obviously, have to criticize that joint there, but yeah,
Can't have
it's
everything,
not
can
perfect.
we? No.
This,
I love that
like,
base.
Love this.
I
This
love
is the
that
base
base.
I'd probably use because it's more of a diorama. Hot
Yeah.
Toys are veering away from the hexagons and the sand bases and the the Lovels, and they're going more diorama, which is pretty
I love
cool
it.
to see.
I kind of wish the DX19 had come with something like along those lines as well, because obviously Catwoman comes with it as well.
I love when you see a picture like this of a figure you like and there's a load of stuff on it. We'll just round it out with this. We'll just take a look at this figure, right? So obviously this is a newly developed head sculpt and mask, new paint applications, newly developed bodies, so you get accurate proportions for the neck, the traps, the arms, the chest, the forearms. Newly crafted mask and costume, separate rolling eyeballs, function, a bunch of different display options. You can have them with the iconic coat from that is the Gotham Knights. I'm wrong? Gotham Knights, the football team.
Shit,
It's
I
the
can't
Pittsburgh.
remember.
I believe it was the Pittsburgh Steelers. I believe, but they got a bunch of Steelers fans down. Call me out if I'm wrong on that, folks. I'm not an NFL fan, but So you got the kind of I call this the Paris Fashion Week jacket that he has, and then you have the kind of normal version. And if you really want to get that T-shirt, you're going to have to get it custom made. The broken cowl, a bunch of swap on hands, accurate proportions in the boots, and the kind of cargo pants. Nice. I presume you can remove that cross grabber.
Yeah, presumably, yeah. I think can you take the back off, or is that just?
I'm not sure.
Oh, okay.
Not sure. Well, I'd say so. Well, I don't know. Actually, I was going to say surely to package it to take it off, but maybe not. I would, if I was a betting man, I'd say you probably detach that, but I really don't know for sure. I think we're going to call it there.
Yeah, cool, man.
You happy with that?
But yeah, I can't wait for Bane. Like if I could snap my fingers and I have just one of those in front of me right now, it would be Bane, 100%.
Yeah. God, that's a good question. If I could snap my fingers and have one of those in front of me now.
Thanos, that shit.
Ooh. God, that is a tough one. I think I'd lean towards the Kenobi Vader, because with Bespin Luke on the way, it could be a sneaky one and swap out the parts and have him pose clean. But that'd be really sacrilegious then. I don't think I'd have a problem posing Bespin Luke with Vader with the cracked, kind
Crack
of
face.
not screen specific, but obviously. But folks, thanks to Alan for taking the time to come on here. Really enjoyed that conversation. That was a real fun one, because it's just pure positivity and hype, because it's hope. Exactly. I hope my wallet survives. I hope that there's no delays, or sometimes I hope there is delayed so I can get a chance to space these things out. But massive thank you to everyone who's tuned in, and in particular the troopers and the commanders. The support there is it is humbling, and I really do appreciate that. So I think we're going to leave it there. Is there anything coming up on your channel, or anything you're photographing on your Instagram over the next few?
Well, I've got the Batman Begins coming in, but I'm not going to be showing that to the world until it's had its modifications.
Yes.
Not going to show that off. But I did get the Paul Atreides from Org Toys. Is it? It's an official Dune figure from 16K, shipped out today, I think. I think Joao put a review up on his channel, and it looks great. It looks really, really great. I can't wait to get that in, and hopefully, it photographs well. That's what I'm hoping for. But I was a really big fan of Dune, so I'm really looking forward to getting that in.
Need to rewatch that.
I love it. It's fucking amazing. So hopefully I'll have some images going up from that, and I do need to make more video content as well. It's kind of a big deal for me to make a video. I haven't got everything's not set up. It has to, I have to set everything up to shoot something, and it's a big deal. But I really do want to get more into it. It's time-consuming. Yeah, it's very considered. But so.
Today was a long day.
It's just, I'm probably just going to be shooting all sorts of stuff that I've got already, and Paul Atreides, which I can't wait for.
Excellent stuff. brilliant. Well, thanks for coming on. If you haven't done so already, follow the Six Scale Gallery on Instagram and at Six Scale Gallery, and to subscribe. Start that again. Subscribe to the Six Scale Gallery on YouTube, and follow at the Six Scale Gallery on Instagram. If you're watching now, if you've enjoyed the content, please leave a like and comment and subscribe to 1 Six Figure Focus on YouTube, and follow at 1 Six Figure Focus on Instagram. That's it. I think that's the end of the video, and see you. And we're gonna. All right, there we go. Got the intro ready. So we're just about ready to go. We're just going to be a bit more professional now. All right, folks. See you later. Good luck.